A very good morning to all of you. This session is live. It is being recorded in YouTube. Happy Raksha Bandhan to all of you. Honorable today's speaker, Professor Arup Burman, Professor Department of Business Administration, Assam University, Silchar. Respected Dr. Rajesh Kumar, Librarian in Mentec. Respected Dr. Naveen Chandra De, Assistant Professor, Department of Library and Information Science, Assam University, Silchar. Respected all the GB members, Professor Sanjay Kumar Singh from Guwahati University, Dr. D.D. Lal, Chief Librarian, NBRC Library, Professor Ranjit Kumar Chaudhary, Mahatma Gandhi Central University, Motihari, Dr. Munawar Iqbal, Dr. Pramod Kumar Singh, Dr. Abhishek Kumar, Dr. Mahesh Singh from NIT Patna, Mr. Kumar Gaurav, and Ms. Parmita Sharma, and all the esteemed participants attending today's program. I, on behalf of Library Association of Bihar and on my personal behalf, I welcome you all in this day 6 program National Workshop on Tools and Techniques for Research in Current Context. So first, I would like to welcome Professor Arup Burman sir, who has kindly consented to give the invited talk. And also, I welcome Dr. Rajesh Kumar, librarian in Mentec, who has also kindly consented to give the invited talk. And I also welcome Dr. Naveen Chandra De, Assistant Professor, Department of Library and Information Science, Assam University, Silchar, who has also kindly consented to deliver an invited lecture for this program. So we are very much thankful to you. You have joined us today in this program. I also welcome all the GB members, all the participants, and all those who are connected with us uh, in one and other way. I also welcome Tushar Manish Sinha, who is helping us in the technical support giving to this organization for conducting this online webinar. So without wasting any time, I would like to just scroll through a few slides regarding our Library Association of Bihar journey. We are a new organization. Earlier, Bihar Library Association was there, but it was not functional now. So we have tried to revive it, but we could not. Then we started a new name, Library Association of Bihar, and we are in the process of registration. So this is we have some uh, work we have already conducted, and this logo we have finalized. We have some aims and objectives which are common to all the library associations. These are they are GB members. You can see from the photographs and name. And this program we have designed for during Ranganathan celebrations, birthday celebrations month. Actually, in entire August, we have devised the program. And today is 6th day of that program. And our last program will be held on 29th August 2021. That day we will have valedictory program. So we have conducted successfully the program. You can see some feedback and all from the participant. We have also celebrated Librarians Day on 12 August 2021, and Professor N. Lakshman Rao was our chief guest and keynote speaker. Yesterday, we have conducted a fifth day program, and Dr. Anupam Chanda, Dr. Mayank Yuvraj, and Dr. Sudeep Bhattacharjee were speaker, and they have very well manner they have presented there, and people likes their presentation. So today we have already I have discussed. So without wasting any time, I will request Dr. Munawar Iqbal sir to please introduce today's speaker. Over to Dr. Munawar Iqbal. Dr. Iqbal, please.
Okay, thank you, Professor Manoj Kumar Sinha ji. I, on the behalf of Library Association of Bihar, welcome to all GB member and all three today speakers. So we have today three speaker, as Dr. Sinha has already mentioned that. So first, I would like to thanks to Professor Arup Kumar Barpanji. We have to honor that he is from the Assam University, and his background is he is the professor in management. So the brief introduction, I will give the brief introduction about the Professor Arup Barmanji. So Arup Barmanji is serving as a faculty member since 1998 at Department of Business Administration, Assam University, Silchar. Professor Barman is MCom and PhD in management, and also postdoctorate on HRD collaboration in India and Asian nation. He is a delete in the management in 2021 as a already, and also he conferred by the International Internship University IIUE. Beyond academic, Professor Burman holds 25 numbers of professional certificates in different areas of management and research. He has 2 to 5 number of research paper in international journals, and he attended 60 international seminars. He also guided and awarded 11 numbers of PhD research scholar and examined 35 numbers of theses from the India and abroad. Professor Arup Ji is a recipient of the Best Teacher Award in 2011 from MTC Global and Best Faculty Award from ASDF Global 2013, and is also the Lifetime Achievement Award in 2019. GOREA, a Pride of Nation Award 2020, and the world's one of the best faculty award in 2020 from Asian University International, AUI, Indonesia, and Global Academic of Human Excellence, GAHE, Philippines. Professor Burman is a proud receiver of Indian Prime Icon Award Academics in June 2020. So I would like request to Professor Burman to kindly start your presentation with this brief introduction. I welcome to you, sir. Please hand over to you, sir.
Hello, audible? Hello.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
you are audible, sir. You may start now,
Yes,
sir.
yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Iqbal, for introducing Professor Arup Burman, sir. Professor Burman, sir, you can start now.
Yeah. Namaste, and very at the outset, let me say there's a Raksha Bandhan, day of Raksha Bandhan. Everyone, I would like to give a wish to each and every one of those who are presenting in this particular seminar, as well as this workshop. What I understand, and at the same time, the Library Association Bihar has given me invitations. That's a really and good opportunity for me. For this one, the initial time, I would like to give the thank you because to the Professor M.K. Sinha. He is not only my that is the colleague, but also we are residing in the same building, and regularly we are frequently meeting like a brotherhood only, elder brother. And with this moment, really, I do not like to spend by giving the everyone's addressing everyone that is this name by name, but I have a good honor to each and everyone at this moment through because the topic is such I have got. God means given me the responsibility whether I will be able to give that justification or not, because this topic is itself is speaking that it requires a thorough type of analysis which needs again a separate type of workshop for the research, a seminar, because the research method will be continuously emerging and emerging. And that is the reason why in brief, I would like to speak on the research tools and techniques in the context of the library science. But now the thing is that especially to tell about the library science issue, it may take time. That is the reason why I would like to tell very, very briefly, because I have heard that there are already 3 speakers for today's session, and I think without the spending of a valuable time, let me straightway jump to the research tools and the techniques. Let us understand about what is the tools and techniques basically in case of the research. Very, very simple concept which has come to my mind. The research tool is nothing but it is the testing device for the measuring a given particular event. And such as it may be the questionnaire, it may be the interview, or a set of the guidelines or checklist for observation. That's while we are giving this particular definition, what is there, it's coming to my mind that if we go for the discussion of a research tool, then we have to think about the modern days or the contemporary advancement. Research tools are continuously emerging, and they basically the technology. But the thing is that we are mesmerized by the technology. That's fine. But this mesmerization of the technology does not give any of the basics. But ultimately, it is only the whatever the fundamental is there that is not changing. So that is the reason why again let me define. It is a testing tool for the measuring a given events, and such as the questionnaire, an interview, or a set of the guidelines, or the checklist for the purpose of the observation. And it is an instrument, basically. It is a machine that aids in accomplishing a task. What is the task of doing the research? This is the task. So for the task, for the purpose of accomplishing our research as a task in the context of a library, or in any context of the social systems, or in any case of the scientific systems, we need something machine, or need something tools or the weapons, and that is about detailing. And while a lot of the tools are there, but at the tools, while you combine, then it comes as a techniques. The reason is that the tools, if we are having fundamental tools, then we can use it as a technique. By using that particular tool, we can generate new techniques. That's the thing. Now the thing is that while you go for the fundamentals of the research tool and the techniques, then we can go for another type of interpretations. Research tool is what? Now again, let me understand, it is an instrument to use for the purpose of data collection. It is for the purpose of data collections, and these are measurable, or which are observable for the analysis of the data and for the purpose of interpretation. That means there is a tool for the purpose of collecting data, that is also tools. And at the same time, these tools we are applying, the data are collected, and we are going to give the measurement, and we are going to observe for this data with the help of analysis and interpretation. There is a techniques. So the tools and techniques are together here, and it is basically constructed by the researcher according to the objectives. So as per the objectives, while we use it, the collection tools, data is collected, then at the same time, these tools can be applied for the analysis and interpretations. So it is this interpretation for the achieving the objectives, then automatically the tools and techniques come together. And in case of the research methodology, the tools and techniques centrally occupies a vital role. So as depending upon the quality of the techniques, basically the research enrichment, generally we can observe it, we can see it, or we can understand. Or if we are having a promising nature, then at the time we normally give the concentration over the tools, techniques, the tools and techniques for the achieving the concrete objectives of a particular research. So now let us understand that while we are going for the tool and at the same time techniques, then we should have to understand something principles for the construction of a research tool. So the principles, while we are giving this the separate parlance of this principle of the construction of a research tool, what we have to do, that is in case of the any type of social science, or in case of the even the scientific as a whole science, general science, physical science, or the science in terms whatever it generally tells, then we have to follow certain principles. The principle is that the questionings in case of the tool means it's a data collection tool. And data collection tool means now you have to understand that the questioning words must be concise and complete and definite. That is the first part. First words while we are telling about the questions or the data collection tools. The data collection tools that in that tools it requires only the that is coming from the basically the questions or the questions along with the which is word and along with the word should have a special meaning and it should not bore. So that is the reason why we have to think that the questioning is the first thing in case of the tool, and the questions must be very much concise and it should be complete, and at the same time it should be definite. So this is the first, and we should keep in mind the next principle is that we should keep in mind the sequence and the order of a questions. If it is there that the any type of research tools, then we have to see, suppose if you take into the account the majority of the research tools in case of the social setups or or even the systemic analysis while we or the examinations while we do, then we have to think in terms of the psychological orders, basically that which way we will get the answer, which we will get the basically the responses. So we should keep in mind the sequence and the order of a questions, that is the psychological order, that we should always understand. Even we are going for the suppose organizational business context or the basic in many other technological or the sub-technological applied technological areas, then also we should have something the order. And while you are going for the assessment of these things, then we should understand psychological order, and that is very much important. And the third, the principles we can concentrate. One question should not influence the other. That means each questions should have specific contents. Otherwise, what we do that the in construction of a particular research tools, maybe the questionnaires or the schedules, etc. Then in this case, we have to go for, if there is a joining questions, then ultimately it will influence each other. That is the reason why it should not influence. That should be one sentence should not have any overlapping meaning. So it is very, very important that while you are constructing a particular questions, again, we should have to think the terms which is coming from the various types of research literature and the concept. Then we have to understand the concept, contents, conjectures, because while you are having concept is a big term, and under that there is that means there is a constructs. And when there is a construct means it is a combination of the various types of component. And when there is a component, within the component, there will be conjecture, because the one term, another term, while we are going to assess, then there is always interconnections. Then the conjectures. Once we understand, we have to churn out these of the conjectures. Then there is a construct, because it will create a construct. Then ultimately we'll understand through a particular construct. Suppose a house, while we're understanding about the house, then it is known as a construct. Basically a house is a construct, means house, what should it be? So like this is a construct because it's having lot of components which is connected. Then ultimately again the house, while we take into the account of a physical house, then at the same time there is the other part, subjective way or an objective way. Then we'll find that basically a concept, big concept is coming. Okay, house should have human being also. Then it comes the home and house both together. So like this way we have to make it. So while we are understanding the concept, construct, and conjectures, all the research scholars, I request that this is the philosophical background, that while in making the questions which is coming from the very, very critical concepts, then we have to understand where the construct lies and where does the contents lies. Then after that constructs, while it is coming, then there is a component. Component means that each and every, there is a small component. Suppose while we are making a particular concrete house itself, there is a component. What is the component? Cement, water. Is it not cement, water, then the sand or the irons, bricks? All these are the components. So the components we have to see that while it is we are making a construct with a relationship, then we can get a different picture. But later on, what is there? But while you breaking it, then the components are completely different. And when we mix it up, then we cannot find it out. Then when it is mix it up, then we find that there is a construct. Yes, this is a construction. That house is constructed with the sand, cement, etc., etc. Later on, we find wall. Later on, we find something like that. So this becomes a construct. So within the construct, there is a components, and these components are the contents, and the contents is the basic tool. in understanding
Sir,
why they all the
excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Do you want to show your PPT also?
Actually, what is happening now at this moment, I don't like to give this a whole. The PPT will be circulated later on, and because I am speaking from the mobile. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
okay.
speaking from the mobile. So keep in mind these three, and I think very easily explainable. These
Okay,
three
sir.
principles I told. And the third principle is that the tools must not be too long or too short. If it is the too short, then the whole component cannot be incorporated in a tool. So that is the reason why what we have to understand, that while in making a research tool, we must have to take into account about the time factors, because this research means ultimately the time factor. And the time factor, while you take into account that the many people's at the time of this filling of the questionnaire. So what we have to understand, that it is taking 45 minutes time, 1 hour time. Nobody having this much of time. So the questionnaires, the tools, whatever we are going to make it, these tools should take less time. So that is the less time component. Means that the standard time is that in case of any type of research, then it is only the 25 to 30 minutes is a standard time. Because on the tools also, application of a tool, there is a research that the how much time tool which actually consumes more time, how it look like, what is the perceptions of the respondents, that's also we have tested it. So ultimately the standard times is 25 to 30 minutes normally people are giving, but exceptional cases, when there is the research methodology is different, then it's a different type of, again, the observation. General research tools normally should have to take 20 to 30 minutes time for filling it out and reading along with the filling it up. But another thing is that the research methodology in case of the qualitative research, if it is a very qualitative research, exploratory type of research, then the time factor is something different. Suppose grounded theory making through the grounded theory, is it not? Then grounded theory making, that tool is something different, because it goes for the very serious type of debates and discussions along with the respondents, and the respondents are also limited to the 40 only. But when some of the research, behavioral science researches, we do have more than the 200, 300, 400, and depending upon the nature of the problems which we selected in the research. So this is another principle, time factor. That the time factor is another. And next is that while we max a particular tool, then it should be very attractive. The clumsy research tools generally does not get attractions of the minds of the researcher or the respondents. So the respondents, to attract the minds of the respondents, that it should have something component that is known as a attractive appearance. So now let me tell that there are the principles while you take into account, that is this questioning, perfect questioning, appropriate questioning. And the next is that the order of the questioning, that is coming under the psychological order. Next is that the influence of the questions and separate, it should not have any influences. And fourthly, I would like to tell, that is the time factor. It is the 20 to 35 minutes, 25 to 35 minutes is the time. And the fifth factor is that the questionnaires should be very, or the research tool must be attractive enough. So attractive, this is the nature of the question of the research tool. That means while we are going for the research tool, means in mechanical device, while you take into account screwdriver, and the screwdriver, it should have a basically, while you get this, it automatically having its own precision. And at the same time, if the screwdriver is not that attractive, is that attractive than the tools, then ultimately the tool users normally feel very much comfort, is it not? And they normally the tools are attractive, means ultimately it's a while you're handling, then they wanted to apply, so they let me apply this normally comes. A lot of the tools we have use it, and in the times we also having some temptation. Yeah, very nice tool, very nice screwdriver, let me see it, where it is to be applied. So ultimately what is there, then it is the respondents, that's the thing. So this is the principles we have to take into account. Now let us calm down this, why for we use that particular tool, because we have to collect data. So the data is the central idea in case of the doing the research. So the data normally is very much essential, and ultimately it is an input. So the data collection is a systematic process basically of the collecting detailed information about the desired objectives from this selected samples under the control setting. That is the data collection. So while it is a control setting, there is a many times in case of the subjective type of research, then uncontrolled settings are much more. But at the same time, all social systems are normally suffered from the subjectivity and the objectivity questions of the objectivity. We are trying to make it much more objective one. So if you are going to make it much more objective one, then the data should be collected from that samples, which is very, very control setting. Yes, control setting, so that we by the mechanism of a designing of a tools itself, we can control the particularly setting. So this is important in case of the data. And while it is coming, then the tools will be used for the purpose of data collection. And what type of data we can collect? Simple way, the data collection tools are applied for collecting the data. That is a primary collection of a data, or the primary data collection to one side, and another side is the secondary data collection. Very, very simple thing. It does not require much more about the physical this, because this, while I am saying all these things, then in this case, if my sayings is not bifurcating to the two things, then ultimately this you will not be getting. Suppose that there is nothing is that you are recording from my speakings, there may be a data. So the datas are of two types. Basically the secondary data and the primary data. Primary data, it is coming very, very briefly, let me tell it. That is, it's coming from the personal context, observation, whatever is needed, that the face-to-face contact with the participants which is required. That is the primary data. And the secondary data are no direct contact required for the gathering the data and information. No direct contact is required. So this is that means the tool, whatever we are going to do for the purpose of collecting the data. So what type of data is automatically coming? It is only the relevant to say. But I am telling about it is the tools and techniques. So the tools and techniques will apply depending upon the data. So the primary data collection, while you use, suppose the in-person survey, then to gain the general awareness or the basic questions, then it is this in-person survey we do. In-person survey. That means the primary data can be collected with the help of in-person survey, then the direct observation, and the interview, and the focus group. These are the four primary data collection tools. In-person survey. While it is in-person survey, then it is to basically objectives is what? To gain the general awareness to the basic questions. And the direct observation, what is there? When the researcher is directly involved with the study group, when the researcher is directly involved with the study group, then direct observation is necessary. And interview used to gain more depth answer for a complex questions, then interview is necessary. Used to gain, interview is necessary to, or it is used to gain more depth answer to the complex questions. And the focus group, the certain sample groups are asked their opinion and about their certain subjects and the theories, then it is the focus group. Now the thing is that here lies data collection. I am telling about the data collection. Where is the again connection about this? The tools and techniques. Yes, the tools and techniques. This is the techniques. This is the technique actually. In-person survey is a technique for gathering data. But for gathering data, there is a tool. In-person surveys requires a questionnaire. Again, or a schedule, it is necessary. Direct observations. In the direct observation, this is a technique, and it is required a tool. Which is the tool? When the researcher is directly involved in a study group, then the direct observation is required. Again, it requires a tool. There is many tools for the observation. An interview is a technique, but in the techniques of collecting the answer in depth in a complex questions, then what is there? We use this interview is a technique, but at the same time it requires a tool. Again the tools means the sentence or the questions, a basic sentence, and the questions are the basic issue, interviews. And at the same time the focus group, when it is a focus group also, then also the schedules are very important. Schedules, or at the same time it requires the questions, it requires the discussions. So its focus groups is a that is the tools used in the multiple tools are used through the techniques of a focus group, is it not? While we are doing the research which needs a focus group, then at that time multiple tools are necessary. So that is the reason why these are tools. Now the tools and techniques are coming together. That is the reason why I'm telling this one. The primary data collection issues. This is primary data collection can be done with the help of in-person survey, direct observation, interview, and the focus group. All right. And under that there is a so many tools. Okay. These data collection tools allow the true measurement actually. The tools, whatever we are going to use it, it is allows for a true measurement of accuracy and let the researcher obtain any unspoken observations about the participants while conducting research. And as for example, so while we are going for the socioeconomic survey, then the studies related to the rural and the suppose that tribal communities or the nursing related research or hospital management studies, library management studies, knowledge awareness and the practice, etc. For this actually this is necessary. So that is the thing that in many of the times we have to mix it up. Many a times a single resources need many tool and many technique. And in case of a suppose a systemic research what we are doing to suppose a library management, the issue of a library management while you do, we should not depend basically to find out the very deeply the problems or even the understanding of a particular situations. Then only a single tools does not normally not suffice. So we have to go for the multiple tools and techniques to adapt. So that is the thing. This is in case of the primary data collections. Then is that the secondary way of a data collection. Secondary way normally what is there in earlier days. Secondary way, personal postal mail through that one secondary. Person does not require to here meet in the secondary type of secondary data collection. So the postal mail was there, but today it is not necessary because the electronics mails and the Google the questions format is normally given. So it is done. And at the same time now telephones data collection was there, web-based service is now coming. So this is because of the digitalization, this is research is there. So postal mail is now we are avoiding, but electronic mail, telephones and the web-based service is a very common tools for the collecting of a secondary data. These are the tools, but the tools while you are again it is again techniques, same thing. So it is done when a large group of the population is required, when the secondary data is collected, again when very large group of the population is required at that time it is necessary, when the personal contact is not possible for the researcher to collect the data, that at that time also secondary data collections can methodology is used. Next is that the institutionalized survey. While you are going for institutionalized survey, suppose the data on the in case of a library management, efficiency of a library management, then to each and every component we cannot go for efficiency of a library management in the northeastern part, efficiency of a library management in case of the suppose the in case of the India or the eastern part, northern part, or whole India. In that case, this organized institutional survey, organizational research to be conducted with the help of the various types of data and information which is already ready along with the library management peoples. So that we are normally having. So this is the about the primary and the secondary data, and along with that there's the techniques as well as the tools. So the methods of the data collections now. Let us go for the method of the collection of a data. In this case, the method refers to the way of gathering data. A tool gathering data, or a tool is an instrument used for the method. Method refers to the way of gathering data, and that is an instrument basically to use for that particular method. So what is their method? Method of the data collection is the observation method, interview method, and the questionnaire method, and the physiological measurement. That also we can do it. So the observation methods, what does it mean? Observation method. And the interview method, what does it mean? And the questionnaire method, what does it mean? And the physiological methods, physiological measurement, how it can be done. So one or the more method has to be chosen in many a type research. So the research, in case of the method as well as these tools, method, while we are adopting methods, then the tools are also different. So the choice of a particular method depends upon the following of the factor. Some following factors. These factors are maybe the nature of the study or the subject matter. This is depending on that nature of the study, or the subject matters. Next is the unit of inquiry. The size and spread of a sample, that is issue. The scale of the survey, that is necessary. The educational level of the respondents, that is also important, we have to take into account. And the study and the depth of the type and the depth of informations to be collected, that is also various of the factors. And the availability of the skills and the trained manpower, that is also a factor. So by at the time of collecting of a data, we have to take into account the various types of factors. The factors are the nature of the unit of inquiry, size and spread of the sample, and the scale of the survey, educational level of the respondents, the type and depth of information required and collected, and at the same time availability of skills and the trained manpower. On the basis of that, we can create a tools and we can apply the tools and getting the various types of data for the eliciting the informations or the processing the informations. Next, simple way, let me tell about the observation techniques. There are the various types of observation techniques. We can use it, this structured way of observation and unstructured way of observation. In this case, we have to see that observation techniques covers this structured and unstructured observation. We can observe the things. So the structure of observation, again, how we can do it, standardized conditions of the observation that we have to see. When standardized, what is the conditions? When we have to see, suppose the library initiation, first day of the library openings. In that day, if we see the performance of the observation, then first day they begin. So we have to have the standardization. Okay, a library should continue for at least 10 years. Their performance should be assessed only 10 years by looking the graph. This is the observation. By looking the graph of the users, we can get this is the observation. So by looking that that is the empirical data observation. Next, careful definitions of the units to be observed. Careful definition of a unit to be observed. The style of recording the observations and information, that is very much important. So like this way, in structured observations normally helps us in the descriptive studies also. And at the same time, unstructured observations are those observations, the observation does not take place as in the structured observation. It does not have any structures. You will go from one sector, one question to the another questions, linking to the one question, another question, like this way. It is in case of the unstructured observations are normally done in the exploratory studies only, exploratory type of study. So the observations techniques, both way it is used. One is the structured way and descriptive studies, and unstructured way where there is a exploratory type of study. So this is the way of doing the observations. And while you are using the instruments and tools for the observation, what are they? What are the tools or the instruments we are going to use at the time of observation? First is the field note, anecdotes, and the anecdotes are at the same time checklist that we can use it. Checklist, field notes can be prepared, anecdotes to be prepared, or the checklist can be used for the purpose of the collecting data through the observation method. So this is one. Next is there are advantages and disadvantages. I understand that the time, because of the scarcity of time, I don't like to tell about the advantages and disadvantages of the structured and the unstructured observation. But the interview method, while we are going to the next method of this for the collecting of a data, that is this interview method. This method for the collecting data involves the presentations of the oral stimuli and reply in terms of the oral response. That is the interview method. That means the oral stimuli is normally given, reply in terms of the oral response that are collected. So that is where interview method. And interview with a group interview, and at the same time personal interview, we can take it. So it can be used through the personal interview if possible, or through the telephonic interview if it is possible, or through the different type of now the WhatsApps, the telephone only. So like this way, the whatever is the technology is used, it may be only helping us in the speedier collection of a data, or it facilitates in the process of a communication, but they ultimately remains same. Okay, oral interview, but maybe it in the middle we can take the help of the either computer, or at the same time we can take the help of the mobile, or within the mobile there are various types of apps. So it is the interview. So next is that we are having the various types of interview again. This is also tools and techniques, the tools and techniques for the collection of a data. So these then classifications of the interview, while you see that personal interview, and another is that there is a personal interview, and that can be done with the help of the telephonic interview. Now personal interviews are structured, unstructured, focus, clinical, non-directive in nature. So the personal interview, we can go for the structured method of the interview, unstructured method of the interview, focus method of the interview, and the clinical and the non-directive method of the interview. So this is the classifications. Okay, personal interviews can be done with the help of this way, structured, unstructured, and it's having again the advantage, disadvantage, how to apply. That is again the serious issue. As we are digging about the methodological aspects, then we will get a lot of the again informations about that. Okay, unstructured interview and the focus interview. This important that the focus interview, how to do it. So to focus the attention on a given experience, the respondents and its effects, then at that time we can do the focus interview. That means the focus attention. We have to get the focus attention on the given experience of the respondents and its effects. Suppose in case of a focus interview, while you take it account, library is a place for study. Library is the place for study, focus interview. Normally, what is there from the administrative point of view? People will tell, okay, we are facilitating a library is the place of study. But at the same time, from the recipient's point of view, students' point of view, library is the place of the, again, the discussion. Library is a place of the sit chat. Library is a place of something else for making adda. So that may be happening. So that is the thing, this focus interview. But from the different point of view, different focus, we find it out. And many a times the mixed groups, while you see that the library is a place for again study, a library is a place for entertainment, library is a place for the relaxation, library is a place for, like this way, focus interview will be getting the different answer depending upon the what we are going to study or direct our questions to according to that. Next, another type of this that very rare in case of the research techniques applied, that is a clinical interview. It is concerned with the broad underlying feelings of the individual's life experience. Individual life experience. Many a time, what is there? This is the individual life experience. Suppose I would like to tell that the Professor M.K. Sinha is a great professional in the line of the library science. He's working for the long time, both in the administrative as well as in the academic in the library science. Now the clinical interview is that this concerned with the broad underlying feelings about the individual life experience over the library. Is not over the library as a whole system, library as a process, library as a the service center, library is a entertainment center, library is a center for excelling the human excellence. So this is the clinical interview. We can go for this because the library is a such type of mechanism that in case of the university systems, if it is managed appropriately, it can enhance the excellence of the human being. Excellence, or it can give the seeds to the minds of the learner. So how much we do it, then it is a clinical interview, because many of the things we have we are doing, we are not, I am not asking in the case of this clinical interview, I don't like to focus over the many other questions about the general questions. Now the thing is that it is the center for the human excellence, center for the creating of the human excellence, or center for sowing the seed of the human excellence. But how to do it, this is the clinical interview normally speaks, because we are sidelining, we have controlled the other factors. Now we are only digging over the one issue, that library should be the center for creating human excellence. And how much it is done in case of the Indian context of the library, or Indian context of the university's library, Indian context of the other libraries, that is, I think, a very doubtful questions. Now the question is that once through the research we can find it out, this clinical interview can be applied for the purpose of that type of very focused and deep feelings about a life experience through the library, through the systems, or through the research. Next, another techniques we are having, that is this non-directive interview. Non-directive interview. Interview is not direct. So it encourages the respondents to talk about the given topic. Is based within with a bare minimum direct questioning, that is the non-directive interview. It encourages the respondent to talk on the given topic. Let them, you allow. Is it not? There's the open questions. So that is a open-ended question systems like that. What you say, what your opinion, how do you feel? Is it not? Then after that, the speaker or the interviewee will give the answer. Interviewer will only listen by the time, or it may be recorded at that time, or it may be noted down, or your auto would noted down, it will be done. So like this way. Now the telephonic interview is a very interesting thing, then many people are doing it, and I should not tell about that. There is a more advantages, disadvantages, but without focusing these advantages and disadvantages of this telephonic interview. Collecting informations consist of contacting respondents with the help of telephones. Within the telephone, there is so many apps, so many methods. That's the thing. So many tools we can use it. That's a mechanical tool. All right. So this is the thing. Now, next is that the questionnaire issue of a questionnaire. It comes. The questionnaires again. It is a big vast ocean. While you are making it questions, because we have to see what type of questions. And the questions in case of these questions are questionnaire. While you take into account, then the two types of questions we do have fundamental two types. One is the open-ended questions, another is the close-ended questions. And many a times close-ended questions are normally having a particular concept, and within the concept a certainly boundary is been given. That is the close-ended questions. That means the close-ended questions does not have much more options to tell here and there. In open-ended questions, it is used for the purpose of exploratory research, but in case of the close-ended questions, it is basically for the empirical type of research. So the questionnaires are useful for that. So the questionnaires, it comprises a series of the questions prepared by the researcher that are answered and filled by the respondents. That is the thing. This is the questionnaire. And this is usually popular in case of the self-reporting or the self-administered method. It is very much popular. And it is commonly used to get the demographic data as well as the others, the socio-perspective or the socio-psychological aspects, socio-systematic aspects of the data collections. So it allows the collections of large data from a large number of the sample and quickly and intensively. That is the questionnaire. So the questionnaires are of different types already I said, and the questions are of structured questions, another way unstructured question. And within the structures of the questions, while I again would like to repeat that the structure of a questions is coming under the open-ended question system and a closed-ended question system. Open-ended question systems, it is really open: what, when, how, where. These are the basic words used: what, where, how, when. All the 5 words that is there, and by that one can use, and it is very less numbers of questions when it is necessary to ask the less questions, but you have to get it the very internal feelings of the respondents, then what, how, or it is in case of the exploratory type of these things. Next is that the close-ended questions are normally of the fixed, and alternative is necessary. It is limited to the respondents because this is giving a boundary. Next, it is easy to analyze in this case because we can give it the numbers, etc., etc. Is it not? And many a times close-ended, they only the single type of yes no type of answer is there, then scale patterns also comes. Various types of scales issues are coming. Again, that is also, it requires another 2 to 3 hours time to tell about the various types of scales. But so ultimately, I don't like to give over that issue. Scale issues. There are, again, maybe in another session is necessary. Now, let us go for this types of the close-ended questions. So while you are going for close-ended questions, means open-ended questions and close-ended questions. Then what are the things we have to take into account, or what are the aspects or the tools matters, or at the time of preparation we have to take into account? That is this dichotomous questions. Questions are of dichotomic in nature. That means yes or no, is it not? And many a time the positive and the negatives. Multi-choice questions are there. There is a multi-choice question. There is a cafeteria-based questions, and there is the rank order questions, rating scales questions, and there is a checklist and a visual analog scales also used. Now, the thing is that in many of the times, traditionally we are using the dichotomous question, multi questions, cafeteria-based questions, rank order questions, and the rating scales, and at the same time checklist. These are the very popular, but visual analogs scales are a bit less. But now it is emerging in the field of the social science research. Next, let us understand a few about this one. What is the dichotomous based questions? It makes the respondents to make choice between the two responses. That is this. One is the suppose this yes and no. Suppose male and female. Is it not? Male and female. This is dichotomy. That means if it is yes, then there is a no. No is absent. And if there is a male, then there is a female is absent. If male is absent, then female is absent. So in the middle, there is a no middle option. So that is the thing. So in case of the again, our general pattern of the understanding. So for, have you been hospitalized the last few weeks? Have you suffered from the corona? Somebody will tell yes, or somebody tell no. So that is the thing. This is a dichotomy. All right. So the dichotomic scales are there. Then another is that the multi-choice questions. While you are going for the multi-choice questions, then automatically it is the pattern of a scale. So it's offer more than the 2 alternatives. So it is graded alternatives and preferable for the opinions, attitude, or the attitude-based questions that gives more information. So, as for example, how important is you to avoid the problem of the social distancing? How is this important? Is it extremely important, very important, somewhat important, or not at all important? Yet what is there? It is a unidimensional type of things, because not at all important from that one we are coming to the very extreme. So ultimately this is, so there is a sometimes bidimensional also, is it not? The unidimensional or the bidimensional. So next is the cafeteria based questions. While you are going to ask, this is very, very important, that there are special types of MCQ, multiple choice questions, that asks the respondents to select the respondents the response that most closely corresponds to their view. The people have a different opinion or the attitude about the use of the various types of the therapeutic use. In this case, we say the library professionals are sitting for a longer time, is it not? And for that one, what is there, that the people are different opinion about that. Okay, it is the job of a very easy job to sit down, or only to in the we have to see somebody will do. Okay, but at the same time, in this case, this cafeteria based questions, we have to go for the different types of the options we have to give, and somebody will select out of that one. So the out of that one, what is the best in the cafeteria? While you go, which is the best suits for you, that only you select. That is the cafeteria based questions normally having. It is only the MCQ given more options. Okay, MCQ given more options. In case of the research doing this, then we normally give. Again, it is the same way. The rank order questions are also same. Rank order, you are giving the responses. So many options are there. Which one you prefer most? Which one you select most? Which one applies most? Which one people prefers most? Like this way, this gives the rank order. All right, so the rank orders we can giving it. Next is that the rating scale. While you are giving, then we have to see we know that there are different type of rating and ranking scale, and about that whole issues I don't like to tell, because again, the more I am analyzing this rating related scales, is it not? That is, it will take time. That's the reason why. Let me say simply about that one. Rating scales are of rating. We must have to facilitate the respondents through a rate, and rating scales are different type of scales we are using. That means to categorization of the response. So they suppose they strongly agree, disagree, undecided, agree, and strongly disagree, agree, disagree, undecided, and agree, and strongly agree, is it not? So that is the ultimately the Likert type of scale. It's not Likert scale, and under that one, ratio scale is there. That is this ordinal scale is there. So these are the things we have to take into account at the time if we are going for details, ordinal scales, etc. Next, visual analog scales. What I would like to tell, it is the useful for the assessing the perceptions of the physical stimuli of such as, suppose in case of a pain, sleep, quality of the sleeping, shortness, etc., like that. So visual analog, in which way visually we can analog it. So the now thing is that in case of the doing the library research or the library professionals doing the works seriously, they needs a presentism, and many a time this presentism leads to the absentism. So the absentism, more you are presenting, then later on you have to take the absentism. That is the reason. More you are working, that means this you are exhausting yourself, and later on what is there, because of sitting for the longer time, you will have the headache, backache, headache, all these things, and finally next day you are absent. What is this now? That is the reason why in this case the visual analog scales can be used to examine, and it requires again a separate type of discussions, which I don't like to use it at this moment. Next is that this is the visual analog scales and the analogic patterns. In this case, what is there in the basis of the pictures? We can use it. The perceptual scales we can use. It. So this is about that. The next is that the physiological measurement. Physiological measurements are also used many a time for the purpose of assessing the human beings, is it not? Or at the same time, physiological issues or the perspectives of the human being. So that is used as a scales, or the at the same time it is a classical that is known as the in vivo and in vitro type of the things. So it is not necessary at this moment to tell about the library science, because it may not be fit. But in case of the social science and the semi-social science and even the applied clinical science, these are necessary. So now the thing is that at the time of even again it is applicable. This is a tool which is very much important. Again, we are not using that is not an excuse. We have to learn about the what is that about the physiological measurement. In case of the library science, that is also important, because this it's a matter of a physics normally is there. Suppose the physical measurements about it, basic measurement of a room temperature, the pressures, electrical measures, etc. And then many a times the sitting down for this, which is creating the many of the psychological, mental and neurological connections, so which normally releases so many types of the chemicals like the sugars, then the pressure, high pressure, blood pressure, so etc. Then the microbial measurements of also may be necessary, because they see you have to many a time many of the libraries may have to do various counterpart like this the books contaminations is not this dust matters, book and the dust matters, and the skin allergy, that is also physiological measurement. So like this ways, this can be also used many a time. We only use about the library measurement, but at the same time of this one, in case of the Indian library systems, all the library profession does it understand, does they professionally manage the books. In this case, they have to think about the chemical component of a books, in which way it impacts, or it has the contaminations even for the health of the readers or even the users. So like that way it is coming. So that can be another type of research it's coming, because of if we know the study and the context of the study, new study, then the tools can also be applied for the purpose of the analyzing. So that's way we are going to get the research tools and the techniques. Now the thing is that while we are going for the research tool and techniques, perhaps the 1 hour lecture or the 35 minutes, 45 minutes lectures, we cannot suffice. It requires more and more, and it should be very, very practical based once we prepare it. I know that the new researchers requires much more deep about the tools constructions, tools selections, and the tool applications. And in this case also, while in the data collections is there, the another aspects I will not be able to speak, because this already time is going to get 12. So another half an hour only the other speaker will get it. So I should not deprive anybody else. The another aspects while it is there, tools, techniques of this. After the data collections, data to be processed, then data to be again analyzed. So the analyzing issues is again another, is that there are also tools and techniques. So that's really a big ocean. And as I understand that because of the paucity of a time, each and every aspects, I am throwing the lights very hurriedly, and at the same time, as it is in the WebEx, I could not give the things through the laptop. I could not, but it is only in the mobile I am giving the presentations. I could not give you the slide, but only through my explanation only. I only have given a bird's eye view over the tools and techniques, which is a very long subject matter of a very crux of the whole research issues. I know that it is not justifiable to tell that I given the whole picture. Only a brief idea I have given what is the research tool and there is research techniques that is applied in case of the social science research and in case of library research. Thank you. You have for the all everybody's patient hearing on my topic, and continuously I am speaking. I know that because there is a hurriedness also. I have to go somewhere, and people are ready for me, and I am speaking here, and they are waiting for me. All right. So with this one, let me tell namaste to everyone. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for taking up this lecture session, and you have nicely presented the various tools and techniques in a very nice manner. And I hope our participants might have benefited from your presentation. Due to some problem in laptop, Professor Burman sir has not able to show you PPT. He has already prepared, but the morning there was some problem in laptop, so he is connected with mobile only. So he has vast experience of conducting research, and we will keep another day some lecture where sir will be given more time to explain all this, and sir will be going for some work. So if there is any question immediately within 2-3 minutes, any question you may ask. Otherwise, sir will leave. Uh, do you have any question, participant? You can ask, unmute yourself and ask. Then other speaker we will invite to speak.
Hello, sir. Good
Yes.
morning. I would like to ask any advanced tool for data collection. just like any plugins to cope up with any browsers, like
Yes, Google
you
is
know.
normally there. Yeah, web-based studies are there. So many blogs studies people are doing content analysis. Then depending upon the methodology, there are more and more advanced techniques and tools also. More and more advanced techniques. At this moment, within a 35 minutes or the 45 minutes, I'll not be able to speak about that. But at the same time, now because of information technology use, many of the research tools are coming because this now R is also integrated. Research R is also integrated, and at the same time, the company-based integrated so many research tools are already coming. But it is only basically what is this now? But the data collection. Only the data collection through what? Basic fundamental is that the either interview or observations. Data may be collected automatically by the camera or something else, that does not matter. But fundamental is what? And beyond the fundamentals,
Sir,
any yes.
sir,
Hello.
I would like to ask about open source tool, just like a Google Forms, Kobo Collect.
The answer, you are having the answer automatically. I told that information
No,
technology is a
no,
big edge.
yeah,
Tool is there.
yeah,
Google.
sir.
Yes, no doubt.
Sir,
Tool is there.
I understood your question. Actually, he is asking that any tools to collect online data, like we are collecting data through Google Form. I have already given to you one questionnaire in a chat box. You can see how I make questionnaire and what type of questions we already put in this. In between, you can see and you can build up. And
Yeah. No, in
this
this.
is very popular now. Nowadays, this is very popular. Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
No, Google.
Sir has to go for some work,
Sir, thank
so
you.
we will not take his much time. Thank you so much, sir, for attending our session on our request. Now I will request Dr. Munawar Iqbal sir to please introduce other speaker and invite them to speak.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, you can log out, sir, because you have to go outside. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
yes. Please speak. Munawar ji, please you can call Dr. Rajesh, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Sinha ji. And thank you, Professor Arup Burman ji, for a nice presentation of research tools and techniques. And we hope that all departments will be benefited. Our next speaker is Rajesh Kumar, and Dr. Rajesh Kumar will speak on ocean of free open sources. Dig as much as you can. Dr. Rajesh Kumar is a university librarian at IRS, I think Manav Ratna Institute of Research and Studies, Faridabad. He holds as a PhD in geography, in addition to have BLIC and MLIC from Department of Library Information Science, University of Delhi, and MPhil, MBA, CIC, and LLB. He is currently pursuing a PhD in library information science. He has around 23 years experience and contributed and presented 46 research papers at different national and international conferences and UGC listed and reputed and referred journals. He is an editor of well-reputed journals. The name of journals is Gyan Kosh, the Journal of Library and Information Management. He is also editor of 7 books in the field of library and information science. He has also conducted 25 library fraternity development programs like workshops, seminar and conferences, etc. He is a editor of well-reputed
Your voice is not coming.
Hello.
Yeah,
Am I audible?
now we can hear you, sir. Yes.
25 library fraternity development program, workshop and conferences LDP Library Development Program, and seminar and webinars also. He has been a resource person of workshop and webinar in different institutes. And Dr. Rajesh also in panel University of Delhi, IGNO has also impaneled him as an academic counselor for CLIB, BLIB, MLIB, and PG Land courses. He got many awarded like a Man-Livnet Promoter Award, Distinguished Faculty Development Award for outstanding contribution in the field of library information science from Delhi Library Association, New Delhi. Gandhi Peace Foundation, SDPA have conferred him the best leadership in skilling of allies professional award, and also received the award for outstanding performance and exceptional commitment toward the contribution to the larger good in promoting Man-Livnet librarianship and innovative service by the Institute of Management Technology. Before joining in MRIIRS Faridabad, he has served in various reputed organizations like IGNO New Delhi, Amity Business School Noida, Noida Asia Pacific Institute of Management New Delhi, IFCAI Business School Noida, IWSB Greater Noida, Linko Infratech Ltd Gurgaon, and Inventec Ghaziabad. He is a life member of Man-Livnet, ILA, and ASLIC, ILSDA, and DLA. So with this brief introduction about the Dr. Rajesh Kumar, I request you to kindly present your presentation on the topic of ocean for the free open resources, dig and much as you can. Title is very nice, sir, and over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay.
You can
my
start now, sir.
Presentation is, I think, दिख रहा है?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. सर आप स्लाइड शो कर सकते हैं.
अच्छा, स्लाइड लो. Just it's okay, sir?
Yes, sir, it is coming. Very good,
Okay.
sir.
First of all, good morning to all of you, and I am very thankful to Mr. Sinha ji, Lal Saab, and other Bihar Library Association to giving me the opportunity to for this lecture, and especially on the I'm thankful to all the executive council member also. We all know that after pandemic, open dependency on the open source resource increasing day by day. So we thought that the topic should be different. That's why I prepared a topic of today's lecture: Ocean of Free Open Source, dig as much you can. First of all, what are free or open resources? Free or open resources means resources which are available on internet as fully free. Everybody can access anytime at anywhere. For that, you will need only a computer system and internet connectivity. Open access means something that is free to use or access. Open access is the term to describe, sorry. Open access is the term used to describe literature that is available to any reader at no cost on the internet. Open access refers to the resources that are freely available for viewing and for use. Open access is the format to providing unlimited
Sir, voice is not coming.
एक्चुअली एक प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है सर, मैं करता हूँ.
अच्छा सर, कैमरा बंद कर दीजिए.
अच्छा, मैं कैमरा बंद कर दूँ.
हाँ.
एक सेकंड.
सर आप 1 by 1 ही स्क्रॉल कीजिए, अगर वो नहीं हो रहा.
हाँ हाँ हाँ, मैं कर रहा हूँ.
1 by 1 ही कर सकते.
I'm trying to.
सर आ गया.
हाँ हाँ.
It's okay, Rajesh ji. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. ये
Ready to see.
okay. हाँ. Just sorry for the
No
distance.
problem.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Open importance of open access journals. Open access is the format for providing unlimited access via the internet to the peer-reviewed scholarly journal papers. It is increasingly being provided to the thesis such as a scholarly monograph and book chapters. Open Access Journal, DOAG, Directory of Open Access Journal. Aim of the DOAG is to increase the visibility and ease of use of the open access scientific and scholarly journals. The DOAG aims to be comprehensive and cover all open access scientific and scholarly journals that use a quality control system to guarantee the content. DOAG is a community curated online directory that indexes and provides access to high quality open access peer reviewed journals. Google Scholar. Google Scholar provides a simple way to broadly search for a scholarly literature. From one place you can search across many disciplines and sources, articles, theses, books, abstract, and Google Scholar helps you find relevant work across the world of scholarly research. Ebooks. Open Access eBooks Project Gutenberg is the first and the largest single collection of free electronic books. Michael Hurt, founder of the Project Gutenberg, invented ebooks in 1971 and continues to inspire the creation of ebooks and related technology today. Project Gutenberg offers 60,000 of free books. Choose among free e-publication books, free Kindle books, download them or read them online. Open access resources, JSTOR. As you all aware of that, JSTOR offers thousands of free quality ebooks, open access digital library, free access over 14,000 full text, a scholarly journal in a variety of subjects, Science Direct, open access, 100 of the free journals, more than 100 journals from Elsevier Science Direct platform. Taylor and Francis open access. Taylor and Francis and Routledge currently published a number of pure open access journals, and the article in these journals receives both rigorous and peer-reviewed and expedited online publication. University of California Press, open access of University of California Press open access journals program. The Colabra program currently publishes Colabra Psychology of Elementa, Science of Anthropy, with plans of continued expansion and journal acquisitions. While a Blackwell open access collection, while a fully open access journals are immediately freely available to read, download, and share. Many more open access resources come after the pandemic. A lot of publishers are now these days uploaded their resources, uploaded their articles on internet. Sodh Ganga, it is developed by Invilnet, as we all know that, and that provided platform to Indian research scholars to deposit their PhD thesis and make it available to the entire scholarly community in open access. The repositories has the ability to capture, index, store, disseminate, and preserve, submitted by the researchers. Global book publisher, bookbone.com. Bookbone.com originates from Denmark out of Veltes Publishing, established in 1988. Ever since it was founded, the company has focused on publishing education-related books for business professionals and students. As a global ebook publisher, Bookbone.com offers a huge range of over 1,000 ebooks in 7 languages directly available to download from the website. DOAB. The primary aim of DOAB is to increase discoverability of open access books. Academic publishers are invited to provide metadata for their open access books to DOAB. Metadata will be harvestable in order to maximize dissemination, visibility, and impact. eBooks Directory. eBooks Directory is a free web resources which contains links to free downloadable ebooks, technical papers, documents, as well as contributed contents, articles, reviews, and comments. There are currently 10,849 free ebooks in 709 categories are available in this directory. Maybe the number has been changed because I have already prepared this PPT few days back. Open Repositories Directory. The Open DOAR is the directory of academic open access repositories, and Open Repositories has been visited by the project staff. Check the information that is recorded here. Repositories of open access repositories, list open repositories. Open access courses. Material. Open Courseware Consortium is a free and open digital publication of highly educational materials for colleges and universities organized across, contributed by the over 200 higher education institutions. Open.Michigan. Open.Michigan is a University of Michigan initiative to create and share knowledge, resources, and research with the global learning community. Open Michigan is committed to open content licensing and supporting the use, redistribution, and remixing of the educational material. Key store open access ebooks, over 2,000 monographs across the humanities and social sciences. Published include Fordham University Press, NYU Press, Cornell University Press, University of California Press, Princeton University Press, and Yale University Press. The Directory of Open Access Repositories is a authoritative directory of the academic open access repositories. Open DOR identified as a key resources of the open access community. Open access video lecture. These videos are available on the given link. Open Access and Research Network. There are a few names. I am 100% sure you have heard about that. ResearchGate, Mendeley, Academia.edu, Vivo, Research Firstnet, SSRN, and MOOC. What is Open Educational Resource? Open educational resources are teaching, learning, and research materials in any medium, digital or otherwise, that resides the public domain or have been released under an open license that permits no cost access. Open educational resources are freely accessible. Open license text, media, and other digital assets that are useful for teaching, learning, and assessing, as well as the research processes. Origin of OCR was first coined in the UNESCO 2002 Forum Open Courseware and designated teaching, learning, and research materials in any medium, digital otherwise that resides in the public domain or have been released under an open license that permit no cost access, use, adaptation, and redistributions by others with no or limited restriction. UNESCO recommendation on OCR. The recommendation of OCR adopted unanimously by the UNESCO General Conference in the 40th session in November 2019 supports the creation, use, and adaptation of inclusive and quality of OER and facilitates international cooperation in this field. The recommendation is the only existing international standard setting instruments or OER and is the first fruit for over a decade of efforts to bring together a wide diversity of stakeholders. UNESCO recommendation on EOR. The recommendation outlines 5 areas of the action, namely building the capacity of a stakeholder or create access, reuse, adapt, and redistribute OCR, developing supporting policy of OER, encouraging inclusive and quality, equitable quality OER, nurturing the creation of sustainability models for OER, and promoting and reinforcing international cooperation in OER. OER opportunity for success, increase quality, provide a range of ideas, and more broadly distribute knowledge. Opportunity to collaborate among the institution and countries, brings a greater range of tools within reach to more users. Many improve students' understanding of the materials, potential to expose students and instructors to the content which may not find its way into the widespread educational use. OER may lower the cost of the student to obtain educational content. What is MOOC? The traditional classroom is limited in how many students it can serve, but millions of the people around the world want and need quality education. MOOCs are massive open online courses. The concept spearheaded by the EDX began as an opportunity for organizations to offer online courses to the student all over the world in the millions for free. UGC MOOCs online courses. UGC MOOCs is one of vertical to produce courses on postgraduate subject in SWAYAM online courses and MHRD initiative. UGC is the one of the national coordinator of SWAYAM and InfiniNet is the technical partner of the UGC MOOCs. What are the benefits of MOOCs? By opening the classroom through MOOCs, EDX brings the best courses from the best schools to millions of learners around the world. The EDX platform is built so that teacher can deliver education at a scale that is the same or better quality or edge on campus learning. Now these days, MOOCs are doing even more to reinvent and reimagine education. For example, in addition to fully online master degrees, EDX innovative modular credential, micro-master programs, and professional certificate programs providing flexible and affordable educational opportunities. Learners at all stages can live to thrive in an increasingly complex and technologically advanced world. What are the example of MOOC courses? EDX offers courses of range of subjects from the architecture, business management, computer science, data analysis, statistics, engineering, food, nutrition, law, literature, math, philosophy, science, and library science, and more and more. About SWAM. SWAM is a program initiated by the government of India and designed to achieve the three cardinal principle of education policy, with access, equity, and quality. The objective of this effort is to take the best teaching learning resources to all, including the most disadvantaged stages. SWAM seeks to bridge the digital divide for students who have many reminded untouched by the digital revolution and have not been able to join the mainstream of the knowledge economy. SWAM, this is done through the platform that facilitates hosting of all the courses taught by the classroom from class 9 to till post-graduation to be accessed by anyone, anywhere, at any time. All the courses are interactive, prepared by the best teachers in the country and are available free of cost of any learner. More than 1,000 especially chosen faculty and teachers from across the country have participated in the preparing these courses. The courses hosted of SWAYAM are in 4 quadrants. One is video lecture, second is specially prepared reading material that can be downloaded and printed. Third, self-assessment test through test and quiz. And number 4, an online discussion forum for clearing the doubts. Steps have been taken to enrich the learning experiences by using audio, video, and multimedia and the state-of-the-art pedagogy technology. Role of SAM: in order to ensure the best quality content is produced and delivered, 9 national coordinators have been appointed. They are AICTE, and NAPTEL, NPTEL, UGC, CEC, NCRT, NIOS, IGNU, IIMB, NITTR. Courses delivered through SWAYAM are available free of cost to the learner. However, learner wanting to SWAYAM certificate should register for the final proctored exams that come at a fee and attend in person at a designated centers on a specific dates. Eligibility for the certificates will be announced on the course page, and learner will get certificates only if this criteria is matched. SWAYAM Prabha. The SWAYAM Prabha is a group of 34 DTH channel devoted to telecasting of high quality educational program on 24/7 basis using the GS8015 satellite. Every day there will be new content for at least 4 hours, which would be repeated 5 more times in a day, allowing the students to choose the time of their convenience. The channels are uplinked from BISAG, Gandhinagar. The contents are provided by the NPTEL, IITs, UGC, CEC, IGNU, NCRT, and NIOS. The Implement Center maintains the web portal. SWAYAM Prabha DTH channel covers higher education, school education, curriculum-based courses that can meet the needs of the lifelong learner of Indian citizen in India and abroad, and assist students class 11th and 12th prepare for competitive exam. NPTEL, National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning for Engineers, and NPTEL was initiated in 2003 by the 7 IITs: IIT Mumbai, Delhi, Kanpur, Kharagpur, Madras, Guwahati, Roorkee, and Indian Institute of Science. National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning, NAPTEL, is an Indian online learning platform for university level. It is jointly developed by Indian Institute of Technology and Indian Institute of Science. The initiative is founded by Ministry of HRD, Government of India. The project's central idea is to put recorded lectures taught by its member institution online for open access. CEC, Consortium of Educational Communication. Consortium for Educational Communication, popularly known as CEC, is one of the inter-university centers set up by the University Grant Commission, realizing the potential and the power of television to act as a means of educational knowledge dissemination. UGC started the country-wide classroom programs in year 1984. For production of such program, media centers were set up at 6 universities. Subsequently, CEC emerged in 1993 as a nodal agency to coordinate, guide, and facilitate such educational production at the national level. Today, 21 media centers work towards achieving the goal under the umbrella of CEC. Objective of CEC: close coordination, facilitation, overall guidance, and the direction towards the activities of the media centers set up by the UGC in various universities throughout the country. dissemination of the educational programs through broadcast as well as non-broadcast modes, production of educational programs and related support material for the setting up of appropriate facilities for such production, research activities related to the optimizing the effectiveness of such programs, providing a forum for the active involvement of the academic and other scholar in the creation of appropriate educational programs. NIOS. NIOS is open school to cater to the needs of the heterogeneous groups of learners up to pre-degree level. It was started as a project with inbuilt flexibility by the Central Board of Secondary Education 1972 and 1979. In 1986, the National Policy of Education suggested a strengthening of the open school system for extending open learning facilities in a phased manner and the secondary level all over the country as an independent system with its own curriculum and examination leading to the certification. Consequently, the Ministry of HRD, Government of India, set up a National Open School in 1989, the pilot project of the CBSE school through the resolution of dated 14th September 1990. NIS was the vested authority to register, examine and certify the students registers with it up to the pre-degree level. In 2002, Ministry of HRD amended the nomenclature of the organization and from National Open School to the National Institute of Open Schooling (NOIS) with the mission to provide relevant continuing education at a school stage and function and duty of NOIS to take steps to developing a strategy plan and promoting and upscaling the open schooling program in India to provide technical and financial support to state government in India for setting up and upscaling of a state open schools, develop needed action plan for making education equitable and inclusive for the marginalized and disadvantaged groups like girl, women, minority, definitely able people, etc. To offer wide spectrum of courses of a study in a general, vocational, and continuing education and life enrichment courses up to pre-degree level. To develop need-based curricula and self-learning materials for number one, open basic education, number two, secondary and senior secondary education, number three, vocational education and training program with focus on a skill development. To develop multimedia and multi-channel delivery modes of effective transactions of courseware to support courses and programs. To provide effective student support services for facilitating learners by establishing study centers in agencies, organizations, and institutions in India and abroad. Functions of duty of NIS to conduct examination, to partner national literacy mission under the equivalency program, to promote quality of learning of ODL through monitoring, supervising and evaluating, maintaining equivalence of standards, to undertake research, innovation and development activities in the area of open schooling, to establish the database on open schooling, to act as a resource organization and capacity building center in open schooling at national as well as international levels, to collaborate with national and international organizations for promotion of open schooling, to partner with the government schemes and programs at a school sector for achieving their national goals and objectives, to provide professional technical consultation in the field of ODL to institution, organization, agencies in India and abroad. NITTR, National Institute of Technical Teachers Training and Research for the Teachers Training Programs. NTTER, Chennai, was established as an autonomous institution by the Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India in 1964 to improve the quality of engineering education system in India and in the southern region in the particular. With the mandate, the Institute takes initiative to offer a need-based human resource development programs through appropriate mode and develop curricula and instructional resources. EG Pathshala. EG Pathshala is an initiative of the Ministry of HRD and its National Mission on Education through ICT, being executed by the UGC. EG Pathshala is an initiative of the Ministry and its National Mission on Education and through ICT. Is being executed by the UGC, the content of its quality being the key component of the education system, high quality curriculum based interactive content in 70 subjects across all disciplines of social sciences, arts, fine arts, and the humanities, natural and mathematical sciences. E-Adhyan. E-Adhyan is a platform to provide 7,000 plus ebooks for the postgraduate courses. All the ebooks are derived from EG Pathshala courses. It also facilitates playlist of video content. ePathya. ePathya is one the vertical of EG Pathshala, which is a software-driven courses content package that facilitates students pursuing higher education, PG level in distance learning, as well as campus learning modes. It also facilitates offline access. Annual reference program in teaching. National Testing Agency (NTA) has been established by GOI as a premier autonomous and self-sustaining testing organization to conduct entrance exams for admission, fellowship in higher education institution. To access competence of candidates for admission and recruitments have always been challenged in terms of matching with research-based international standard, efficiency, transparency, and error for pre-delivery. MHRD has launched online RPIT on 13th November 2018 is major and unique initiative of online professional development of 15 lakh higher education faculty using the MOOC platform SWAYAM. In the first instance, NTA conducted RPIT test on 30th March 2019 by the 66 disciplines. Currently, 48 disciplines specific national resource center have been identified with the Ministry of HRD, wherein courses coordinators have prepared online training materials with focus on the latest development in the discipline. RPIT is going to be an ongoing exercise so that every year NRCs will continuously develop new refreshers model in their earmarked discipline each year, and training materials will be uploaded and made available through SWAYAM. UGC has notified equivalence of RPIT as a refresher courses for the career development of faculty. JET Library. JET Library is an online project intended to create on one web page for every book ever published. It has been funded in a part by grants from the California State Library and the Kahle Aston Foundation. There are many free ebooks available in PDF format. It is perfectly legal to download and read them. National Digital Library of India. The National Digital Library of India is a project under the Ministry of Education, the Government of India. The objective is to collect and collate metadata and provide full text index from several national and international digital library as well as other relevant sources. It was launched in the pilot program from in May 2016. It was dedicated to the nation on 2018, which offer access to total 1.70 crores. Maybe it have been increased periodicals, journals, and theses to learners of all ages, free of cost. More than 60 types of learning resources are available: books, articles, manuscripts, video lectures, theses, etc. Items are available in more than 70 languages. Repositories integrates contents from different Indian institutional repositories. Open educational research, OER, you can also find out a lot of research in there. So my presentation is over. And now I hand over the mic to Munawar ji or Iqbal Saab. Sorry, Munawar ji or Sinha ji.
Thank you, Dr. Rajesh ji, for nicely presenting your paper on online educational resources. It was a wonderful presentation. All participants are requesting to please share the PPT, and I inform them that it is available in YouTube channel. Already it is live, and whenever they need, they can download, they can go through it, or if you will provide us PDF of that PPT, we will forward to them. No
I have
problem.
already provided the PDF to Lal Saab.
Okay,
And
okay.
no issue. I'll send all the
Okay.
participants. If you provide me the emails, definitely will provide the.
No, we will send in group mail. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, sir.
I can share, sir. I can share. I have the PPT of Rajesh ji.
And Lal sir, now over
Sir.
to Munawar Iqbal sir to please invite Dr. Naveen Chandra De for next lecture.
Thank you, Sinha ji. And I would like to thank Rajesh Kumar ji for a wonderful presentation on open access resources, and he has already covered entire things about the entire concept about the open sources and different platforms. And बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, और बधाई हो आपको न्यू असाइनमेंट.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sir, congratulations.
अब कल तक
I
तो
also came to know right now.
हाँ, जब इनका वो आया, when I was received his profile, then I know that he left from the Inventec.
Yes.
मैं
In
बहुत
fact,
surprise हुआ when in fact I called you sir.
एक्चुअली लाल
But
साहब
आपने उठाया नहीं.
लाल साहब मुस्कुरा रहे हैं. लाल साहब जानते थे, लेकिन मैंने किसी को बताया नहीं था, क्योंकि हार्डली वेडनेसडे को ऑन वेडनेसडे आई ज्वाइंड. So I thought कि पहले establish हो जाऊं. After that I'll share these things. But the Sinha ji का भी contribution रहा है इसमें selection में. So thank you Sinha ji for his support. And thanks for the Bikram also. Now Bikram is a colleague. And
thank you Raj. We have a next
He's in
our
Assam
next
University now.
he is from the Assam University, Dr. Naveen Chandra.
Excuse me.
Hello.
Excuse me, Dr. Manol Iqbal Saab. Hello. Excuse me.
हाँ.
I have one question from Dr. Rajesh Kumar sir.
जी.
Okay.
Can I ask?
Sir,
Yes,
please wait for
please.
some time.
Please.
After Naveen sir's lecture, we will have a question answer session. You can note down, and you can also write question in chat box. We will take up one by one, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Please wait,
Very
sir.
much.
Now request Dr. Naveen sir to start presentation with a brief biodata.
Dr. Naveen Chandra is presently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Library Information Science, Assam University, Silchar, since June 2011. After graduating in statistics from Cotton College, Guwahati, he has completed his MLIC and PhD from the Department of Library Information Science, Guwahati University, and he also holds an MBA and PGDCA courses. Prior to this, he worked at Central Agriculture University, Gangtok, Sikkim. He has contributed so many papers in journals and national and international conferences. His research interests include IT application in LIS, Library Information Science, cloud computing, human resource management, and statistical tools and technique in library information science. With this brief introduction, I would like to invite Dr. Day for presentation.
Thank you, Iqbalji. Very good afternoon to all of you. Mananiya Bihar Library Association governing body, governing मनोज कुमार सिन्हा, जो हमारे डीन और HOD भी हैं असम यूनिवर्सिटी, डॉक्टर DD लाल जीत चौधरी,
नवीन जी थोड़ा वॉइस कट रहा है. वीडियो ऑफ कर लीजिए नवीन जी। नवीन जी आप म्यूट हो गए हैं, आप म्यूट हो गए हैं।
Am I audible, sir? सुना?
Now you are audible. Yes. You may start now. Yeah.
I want to say thank you to Bihar Library support.
नवीन जी कैमरा ऑफ कर लीजिए, कैमरा ऑफ कर लीजिए तो, और म्यूट हो रहा है आपका ऑटोमेटिक। कैमरा ऑफ
सर
कर लीजिए।
कुछ प्रॉब्लम?
सर वीडियो ऑफ कर प्रेजेंटेशन।
सर वीडियो ऑफ कर लीजिए, आप वीडियो ऑफ कर लीजिए।
ऑफ करके हाँ प्रेजेंटेशन नेटवर्क सपोर्ट नहीं है पूरा। नाउ यू कैन स्टार्ट। अनम्यूट कर ले आप म्यूट दिख रहे हैं, अनम्यूट कर लीजिए प्लीज।
सर सुनाई दे रहा है अभी?
हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल, हम लोग सुन पा रहे हैं।
Okay, okay. So thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity to speak on this occasion. I will be sharing some of my experiences regarding statistical application in LIS research. Before I start, I would like to know from some of the participants if what problems, क्या परेशानियां, कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स है, कुछ स्टैटिस्टिक्स को लेके कुछ उनका ओपिनियन क्या है। तो मैं अगर कोई पार्टिसिपेंट्स कुछ बोलना चाहते हैं तो मैं चाहूंगा प्लीज आप बोलिए।
कोई भी पार्टिसिपेंट बोलना चाहता है अनम्यूट करें, अनम्यूट करके आप बोल सकते हैं। रिगार्डिंग स्टैटिस्टिकल प्रॉब्लम कुछ अगर कर रहे हैं और कुछ इस टाइप का प्रॉब्लम है, कुछ शेयर करना चाहते हैं, आप शेयर कर सकते हैं हमारे स्पीकर प्रोफेसर नवीन चंद्रा जी के साथ। ये इंटरेक्टिव सेशन है, इंटरेक्टिव सेशन है, सो आप लोग इंटरेक्ट कर सकते हैं, आप बातचीत कर सकते हैं हम लोगों से। ओके मैसेज फॉर ऑल पार्टिसिपेंट्स।
नवीन सर आप स्टार्ट कीजिए, शायद नहीं बोल पाते हम लोग। आप स्टार्ट कीजिए प्रेजेंटेशन अपना।
ओके आज सर नेटवर्क इशू हो रहा है, पता नहीं
आप क्या डिपार्टमेंट आ गए हैं क्या?
नहीं सर नहीं।
अच्छा
मैं तो यहीं पे हूँ लेकिन हाँ ये
सुनिए सर, हम लोग क्लियर सुन पा रहे हैं। सो यू कैन स्टार्ट, यू कैन शेयर।
यस सर मैंने प्रेजेंटेशन शेयर कर रहा हूँ सर।
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
आज थोड़ा नेटवर्क इशू हो रहा है। सर प्रेजेंटेशन दिख रहा है सर?
नवीन जी पूरा स्क्रीन दिख रहा है, आप प्रेजेंटेशन ऑन करके शेयर कीजिए उसको।
हाँ शेयर कर दिया सर।
नहीं आपका स्क्रीन शेयर हो गया है।
प्रेजेंटेशन पर क्लिक करिए, बाकी चीजों पर मत क्लिक करिए, केवल प्रेजेंटेशन वाले पर क्लिक।
आ रहा है सर?
हाँ बिल्कुल
अभी आ गया।
आप फुल स्क्रीन कर लीजिए इसको। वैसा
अभी आ गया,
क्लिक कर लीजिए नीचे फुल स्क्रीन। हाँ यस नाउ वी कैन गो अहेड।
Okay, sir. So basically for this presentation, the statistics is a very vast topic, as one of our earlier speaker, Professor Arup Burman, has already said, though he tried to cover many things in a very short span of time regarding the various statistical tools used for research. So I'll be highlighting some of the problems which we face as a LIS research scholars, what are the problems faced by LIS research scholars for these statistical applications. Basically, I'll be sharing some of my experiences through this PPT. So I have given definition here. Is it visible, sir? I have given some animations also.
Yes, it is visible very much.
Okay, sir. So statistics is used in two senses. Is a two meaning in one. It is in plural sense, another is in singular sense. In plural sense, it is the facts and figures like statistics are numerical statements of facts in any department of inquiry placed in relation to each other. Suppose say market statistics, rainfall statistics, the inflation statistics. These are we use as the term called statistics. In singular sense, it refers to the body of technique or a subject as a subject or methodology which has been developed for the collection, presentation, and analysis of quantitative data and for the use of such data in decision making. Basically, the purpose of statistics is to help to aid the decision making, is informed decision making, not guesswork. We collect data, we process data, we use some statistical tools so that we can take better decisions for in any field. Okay, so this is the broad classification of the type of statistics which you use. Basically, the statistics can be classified into broad categories like descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. Under descriptive statistics, we have measures of central tendencies, very popular, mean, median, mode. We have then measures of variations, that is measure of variability. We have range, variation, dispersion. This standard deviation is also there. So these are descriptive statistics which we commonly use for our research work. We collect data based on different variables and try to calculate these things. And then inferential statistics is like, it is at the higher end. Some examples I have given here: one sample test of difference, one sample hypothesis, confidence interval, contingency chi-square test, ANOVA, Pearson correlation, then bivariate regression, multivariate regression, and the list is endless. Actually, there are a huge number of statistical tests which comes under inferential statistics. Now, what is what has been experienced in LIS research is that many the use of inferential statistics in LIS research is very less. Many researchers have analyzed the statistical research output of many good, very reputed journals, and they found that use of inferential statistical techniques is very less in case of LIS studies, LIS research. So before I go ahead, I just want to give some what is the difference between descriptive and inferential statistics. Descriptive statistics is used to describe the parameters of a sample. We take a sample for our study because population may be very large. Data collection from all the population is not possible, so we select a scientific sample through various sampling techniques. Then we calculate this different mean, median, mode, standard deviation, variance, etc. So these are descriptive statistics. So used to describe, organize, and summarize information about an entire population. That is 90. For example, here is given 90% satisfaction of all customers. Now, when it comes to inferential statistics, through those descriptive parameters, can we generalize the findings for the entire population? That is inferential statistics. See here you've given, like, used to generalize about a population based on a sample of data. So we collect sample data, we analyze it, and when it comes to generalization, we have to use some statistical test, maybe parametric, maybe non-parametric, and based on certain statistical tools and techniques, comparison and comparing calculated value with tabulated values of different tests, we can conclude whether the findings can be generalized for the population. Then there is another term which we come across many times, like parametric versus non-parametric tests. Parametric versus non-parametric test is like, these are also basically two broad categorization of inferential statistics. Parametric test, key difference is that parametric test is based on statistical distribution. There are various type of distribution in statistics. We may be normal distribution, Poisson distribution, binomial distribution. There are different distributions. Basically, in some cases, to apply this parametric test, we have to consider statistical distributions we have to test the distribution, whether it is normal or it is not normal. Then only then we can apply different parametric tests. But whereas in case of non-parametric statistics, it doesn't depend on any distribution, like chi-square test, and then many others are there. Parametric tests are more powerful than non-parametric test. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, Naveen ji, you can continue.
So continuing this parametric and non-parametric test, like there are corresponding tests, like say in case of parametric test, we have one sample t test, and the substitute, substitute in non-parametric is sign test. Then t test for two independent sample, that is Wilcoxon rank sum test. So these are the corresponding parametric and non-parametric tests, which can be substituted based on the type of study. Now coming to the main topic, our importance of statistics in LIS research. Actually, through my experience, I have seen that our scholars, new research scholars who have less experience of applying statistics, find problem in selecting the appropriate tools, find problem in designing the questionnaire, finds problem in the different analysis, etc. So just I have for just an idea, I have just given the flow chart of my own PhD work, like what is its importance actually. Now, another thing I would like to add here, that statistics, sometimes we come across many some papers or which use extensive use of statistics, only data and nothing. But that is also not good. Statistics we should apply to get basically to justify this the generalization of our quantitative data, to get better good research output, and also acceptability of that research. Because if we don't apply the proper techniques, proper tools, proper measurement variables, etc., the validity of the data, validity of the test, validity of the research output may be questioned. That's why from the beginning we have to keep in mind the application of statistics based on the type of research. Of course, if it is qualitative research, no point of applying statistics. If it is exploratory research, if it is history research, then I think the question of statistics doesn't come in. But most of the research nowadays, again, one very good research field of research nowadays is bibliometric studies, where also we have very good developed very advanced techniques, and which we are very proficient in using these bibliometric techniques. But when it comes to survey research, the application of statistics is very important, and we have to keep it in mind from the beginning. So this is just the flow chart which I designed for my research methodology. That my research was based on questionnaire survey. Then this is we have to design questionnaire. I applied this mixed method of research, where data, both quantitative and qualitative data, I try to collect. In case of quantitative approach, we have selection of questions that already Professor Burman has already mentioned, that selection of questions is very, very important. Like what are the research questions and what questions should be asked either through interview or again then or through the questionnaire. That's very, very important, because at the end of the day we have to fulfill the research objectives. I think sir English is okay, or sir I use Hindi language?
सर दोनों मिला के बोल सकते हैं,
बिकॉज ये जो टर्मिनोलॉजीज है ये हिंदी में बोलना थोड़ा
नहीं
मुश्किल है।
टर्मिनोलॉजी आप इंग्लिश में बोलिए, आप केवल जो वर्ब वाला पार्ट है हिंदी में बोलिए, बाकी सब।
तो मेरा कहना ये है कि ज्यादा स्टैटिस्टिक्स, एकदम बहुत ज्यादा स्टैटिस्टिक्स पे निर्भर होना, जैसे लाइब्रेरी साइंस एक ऐसा सब्जेक्ट है जहाँ पे हम बहुत से चीज क्वालिटेटिव अप्रोच से भी डील करते हैं। क्वालिटेटिव जैसे सर्वे होते हैं बहुत सारे, सेटिस्फेक्शन सर्वेज वगैरह, बहुत सारे क्वालिटेटिव, मतलब क्वालिटेटिव अप्रोच भी बहुत सारा अप्लाई होता है हमारे फील्ड में। जैसे अभी दूसरे दूसरे सब्जेक्ट्स जो है, मैनेजमेंट है, कॉमर्स है, इकोनॉमिक्स है, उनके वहाँ पे क्वांटिटेटिव अप्रोच बहुत ज़्यादा होता है क्योंकि उनको डाटा मिलना आसान हो जाता है। लेकिन हमारे यहाँ पे क्वांटिटेटिव डाटा और क्वांटिफिकेशन ऑफ डेटा, जिसे हम कहते हैं कि कुछ स्केल्स के थ्रू हम डेटा को क्वांटिफाई करते हैं कि आप लाइब्रेरी सर्विस आप कितना पसंद है, आप लाइब्रेरी स्टाफ बिहेवियर से कितना प्रेरित है। तो कुछ स्केल्स हम यूज करते हैं, जैसे 1 to 10 रेटिंग स्केल और रैंकिंग स्केल, उसके थ्रू हम क्वांटिफिकेशन करते हैं। लेकिन आखिर देखा गया है कि जो लाइब्रेरी एंड इंफॉर्मेशन साइंस फील्ड है, वहाँ पे हम अगर मिक्स मेथड ऑफ रिसर्च को अप्लाई करें, जो भी हमारे रेस्पोंडेंट्स है उनका कुछ क्वालिटेटिव एस्पेक्ट्स थ्रू ओपन एंडेड क्वेश्चन, जो खुली क्वेश्चंस होता है, खुली छूट दी जाती है कि आप उसमें कुछ क्वेश्चंस पूछा जाते हैं, कुछ सवाल पूछे जाते हैं, उनको आप अपने भाषा में अपने तरीके से लिखो। वहाँ पे कुछ चॉइस नहीं होता है, जिसको बोलते हैं ओपन एंडेड क्वेश्चंस। उनके थ्रू भी बहुत सारे इनपुट्स मिलते हैं हमें, जो पहले से हमें पता नहीं होता है। तो ये भी एक अप्रोच होता है कि क्वालिटेटिव अप्रोच के थ्रू भी हम बहुत सारे रिसर्च काफ़ी प्रभावित होते हैं। जैसे अभी क्वालिटेटिव, जैसे हम क्वांटिटेटिव डेटा एनालिसिस के लिए हमारे पास SPSS है, एक्सेल है, आर सॉफ्टवेयर है। उसी तरह क्वालिटेटिव डेटा अप्रोच एनालिसिस करने के लिए भी काफ़ी सारे सॉफ्टवेयर्स आ गए हैं, जिसमें से एक एटलास TI बोल के सॉफ्टवेयर है। उसके थ्रू भी हम क्वालिटेटिव डेटा को भी एनालिसिस कर सकते हैं और उसके थ्रू हम काफ़ी बहुत सारे इंपॉर्टेंट जानकारी हमें प्राप्त हो सकती है। तो जैसे कि अभी मेरे ख्याल से ये वर्कशॉप काफ़ी दिनों से चल रहा है, तो रिसर्च के बारे में ही है। तो रिसर्च स्टेप्स मैं नहीं बताऊंगा यहाँ पे किस तरह से हम रिसर्च करते हैं, बट ये ज़रूर बताना चाहूँगा कि स्टैटिस्टिक्स कहाँ पे शुरुआत होती है और कब तक कहाँ तक चलती है। तो जैसे कि हम देखते हैं कि हम कोई रिसर्च, किसी टॉपिक में रिसर्च करना चाहते हैं, हम टॉपिक आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं, फिर उस पे हम लिटरेचर रिव्यू करते हैं, जानकारियाँ कलेक्ट करते हैं। तो कुछ एक और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा जानकारी हमें लिटरेचर रिव्यू के थ्रू ही प्राप्त होता है, जैसे कि उस एरिया में कितना काम हो चुका है, क्या हो चुका है, क्या मेथोडोलॉजी है, क्या प्रोसेस है, क्या फाइंडिंग्स, उसके थ्रू हमें काफ़ी इन डेप्थ नॉलेज गैदर होते हैं। फिर हम अपने आप एक मन ही मन एक अपने रिसर्च के बारे में सोचते हैं कि हम अपना रिसर्च को किस तरह से प्लान कर सकते हैं, किस तरह से डाटा कलेक्शन कर सकते हैं, किस तरह से उसको एनालिसिस कर सकते हैं। तो जैसा भी आपका रिसर्च होगा, उसी तरह से अगर आप सर्वे बेस्ड रिसर्च करना चाहते हैं, क्वेश्चनियर बेस्ड रिसर्च, तो जिसमें क्वांटिटेटिव डेटा या क्वालिटेटिव दोनों ही आप मिक्स कर सकते हैं। तो आप कब अभी देखा गया है कि क्या आपका जो स्टैटिस्टिकल नॉलेज है का, या क्या वो काफ़ी है, क्या आप कॉन्फिडेंट है, क्या आप कर लेंगे। तो ये बहुत सारी बातें हैं जिस चीज़ों का ध्यान रखना होता है। मैं अपने एक्सपीरियंस से देखा हूँ कि कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स है, हमारा जो नए रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स होते हैं उनको काफ़ी जानकारी नहीं होती, या उनके पास मैथमेटिकल बैकग्राउंड्स नहीं होते हैं, तो काफ़ी परेशानियाँ होती है। तो मैं हमेशा रेकमेंड करता हूँ कि आप एक स्टैटिस्टिकल एक्सपर्ट्स या स्टैटिस्टिशियन से संपर्क करें, उनकी सहायता ले। इसमें कोई शर्माने की या कोई हिचक की कोई गुंजाइश नहीं है, सभी करते हैं ऐसा। अलग अलग सब्जेक्ट्स, बहुत सारे सब्जेक्ट्स होते हैं, जैसे मेडिकल साइंसेस होते हैं, वहाँ पे भी स्टैटिस्टिशियन होते हैं, फार्मास्यूटिकल साइंसेस होते हैं, वहाँ पे भी स्टैटिस्टिकल एक्सपर्ट होते हैं। तो हम भी उनका हेल्प ले सकते हैं, ताकि हमारा जो रिसर्च मैथोडोलॉजी है वो सही तरीके से हम बना पाएँ, सही क्वेश्चन या डिज़ाइन कर पाए, सही स्किल्स चुन पाए, सही टेस्ट वगैरह, जो भी काफ़ी चीज़ें हैं, वो शुरुआत से ही एक स्टैटिस्टिशियन से संपर्क करें और उनकी सहायता लें, ताकि हमारा जो रिसर्च है वो सही तरीके से प्लान हो सके और सही तरह से एग्जीक्यूट हो सके। तो यहाँ पे मैंने सारे स्टेप्स दे रखा है। जैसे आप क्वेश्चनियर डिज़ाइन करते हैं, तो आप उसको क्वेश्चनियर को प्री टेस्टिंग करते हैं। प्री टेस्टिंग मतलब आपने ही कुछ लोगों के अंदर उसको डिस्कस करना, कहीं गलती कुछ सुधारना। देन पायलट स्टडी, छोटा सा स्टडी करके हम डेटा को देखते हैं। फिर एक कॉन्सेप्ट है स्टैटिस्टिक्स में, रिलायबिलिटी एंड वैलिडिटी। वो भी बहुत ज़रूरी है कि हम जो क्वेश्चनर या जो भी डाटा कलेक्शन टूल्स को डिज़ाइन करते हैं वो वैलिड है, वो सही तरीके से काम कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है। उसके लिए हमें रिलायबिलिटी एंड वैलिडिटी टेस्ट करना होता है। जैसे रैंक को रिलेशन होते हैं वैलिडिटी टेस्टिंग के लिए, देन रिलायबिलिटी टेस्ट के लिए क्रॉनबेक अल्फा होता है। अभी बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं जो या तो हमें पता नहीं होता या जानकारी के अभाव में हम कुछ चीजें छूट जाता है। तो इसलिए आप अगर एक स्टैटिस्टिशियन के संपर्क में रहेंगे काफी मदद होगी। देन आफ्टर डाटा कलेक्शन वी हैव कोडिंग करना होता है, डाटा को टेबुलेट करना होता है, फिर डाटा को एनालिसिस करना होता है। मैंने यहाँ पे क्वांटिटेटिव डेटा को अपने रिसर्च में SPSS 20 के थ्रू किया, एक्सेल में भी किया। काफी सारे फीचर्स एक्सेल में भी होते हैं जो हम ज्यादातर इस्तेमाल नहीं करते हैं। देन क्वालिटेटिव डेटा को मैंने मैनुअल कंटेंट एनालिसिस किया, देन इंटरप्रिटेशन एंड रिपोर्टिंग। नाउ कुछ जैसे मैंने पहले भी कहा है कि इन्फरेंशियल स्टैटिस्टिक्स जो जनरलाइजेशन होता है वो हमारे लाइब्रेरी एंड इंफॉर्मेशन साइंस रिसर्च में बहुत ही कम देखा गया है, बहुत ही कम। डेस्क्रिप्टिव स्टैटिस्टिक्स का हम इस्तेमाल करते हैं, लेकिन इन्फरेंशियल स्टैटिस्टिक्स जिसमें हाइपोथेसिस टेस्टिंग वगैरह होते हैं वो बहुत कम किया जाता है। तो कुछ एग्जाम्पल मैंने एक दो एग्जाम्पल यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है कि आप जैसे पॉजिटिव कोरिलेशन का इस्तेमाल किया है, जैसे एक्सपेरिमेंट कोरिलेशन एग्जिस्ट बिटवीन द, जैसे हम किया इसमें देखिए एक एग्जांपल मैंने दिया हुआ है यहाँ पे कि एज ऑफ द कॉलेज, जैसे कॉलेज कब स्टैब्लिश्ड हुआ वो डेटा और कलेक्शन कितना हुआ, कितना कलेक्शन उन्होंने कितना डिफरेंट कॉलेजेस में मैंने कलेक्ट डाटा कलेक्ट किया था, तो देखा कि ये इनका साथ एक पॉजिटिव रिलेशन है कि होना भी चाहिए, जो कि जनरलाइजेशन। अगर आप एक नाल हाइपोथेसिस पकड़ते हैं कि विद द एज ऑफ द कॉलेजेस द कलेक्शन इंक्रीजेस, सो यहाँ पे पॉजिटिव कोरिलेशन मिला है। देन मैंने फिर ज़्यादातर मैंने अपना रिसर्च में लाइकार्ट स्केल का इस्तेमाल किया था, तो वहाँ पे भी मैंने टी टेस्ट किया। टी टेस्ट के जैसे कि आप देयर इज नो स्टैटिस्टिकली सिग्निफिकेंट डिफरेंस इन द रेस्पॉन्सेस ऑफ 2 यूनिवर्सिटीज रिलेटेड टू एक क्वेश्चन था कि फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ एक्सेसिंग इलेक्ट्रॉनिक रिसोर्सेज। तो ज़्यादातर हम अपने रिसर्च में परसेंटेज में दिखाते हैं कौन डेली जा रहा है, कितने बाई वीकली जा रहे हैं, कितने लोग मंथली जा रहे हैं। लेकिन अगर ये ही चीज़ हम 2-3 यूनिवर्सिटीज में करते हैं तो हम दिखा सकते हैं कि जनरलाइज करने के लिए एक इन्फरेंशियल स्टैटिस्टिक्स का इस्तेमाल, टी टेस्ट का इस्तेमाल करके हम बता सकते हैं कि कोई अगर डिफरेंसेस है तो आपका टी टेस्ट में पता चल जाएगा कि हाँ कोई कुछ अगर डिफरेंसेस है, क्यों कहीं पे जो फ्रीक्वेंसी है उसमें अगर लोग लाइब्रेरी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक रिसोर्सेज को कितना बार एक्सेस कर रहे हैं, कुछ डिफरेंसेस है तो उससे पता लग जाएगा ताकि आप फर्दर उसके बारे में जानकारी कलेक्ट कर सकें। अभी मैं एक यहाँ पे लिमिटेशंस ऑफ अप्लाइंग स्टैटिस्टिक्स इन एलाइस फील्ड, तो काफ़ी सारे लिमिटेशंस मैंने देखे हैं कि कहाँ प्रॉब्लम होती है हमारे यहाँ पे, तो मैं एक एक करके डिस्कस करना चाहूँगा। बिफोर दैट फिशर जी ने 1936 में बताया था कि एप्लीकेशन ऑफ स्टैटिस्टिक्स कोई भी अगर सब्जेक्ट में किया जाएगा तो उस सब्जेक्ट का जो औधा है, रैंक है, वो सोशल साइंस तक जा सकता है। मतलब कि अगर हम सही तरीके से स्टैटिस्टिक्स का इस्तेमाल सोशल साइंसेस में करते हैं तो जो रैंक ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट है वो काफ़ी हद तक इम्प्रूव करेगा। सो उन्होंने बताया काफ़ी स्टैटिस्टिकल मेथड्स है along with the availability of statistical software, SPSS, SARS, R, advances, modern science. Now coming to the limitation of applying statistics in LIS field, मैंने अपने एक्सपीरियंस से कुछ चीज़ें यहाँ पे लिस्ट किया है। शायद सभी लोग इससे एग्री ना भी करें, लेकिन मैं यहाँ पे बोलना चाहूँगा कि हमारे सब्जेक्ट में जो LIS स्कूल्स में जो कोर्सेस हैं उसमें कोई डेडिकेटेड पेपर नहीं है, स्टैटिस्टिक्स के ऊपर कोई डेडिकेटेड पेपर नहीं है। मैंने देखा है मैनेजमेंट पे उनका यहाँ पे डेडिकेटेड पेपर है, डेडिकेटेड टीचर्स हैं, स्टैटिस्टिक्स के लिए सेपरेट टीचर है, सेपरेट पेपर हैं। कॉमर्स में भी होते हैं, इकोनॉमिक्स में भी होते हैं, बट लाइब्रेरी साइंस में स्टैटिस्टिक्स का कोई सेपरेट, ज़्यादातर लाइब्रेरी साइंस डिपार्टमेंट्स में ये सेपरेट पेपर नहीं होते हैं। रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी में ही कुछ 1-2 यूनिट दिया जाता है जो कि मेरे हिसाब से काफ़ी नहीं है। देन वी हैव लैक ऑफ ट्रेन मैन पावर इन स्टैटिस्टिक्स, ये भी एक काफ़ी बड़ा मुद्दा है कि हमारे पास ट्रेन मैन पावर नहीं है। देन नॉन मैथमेटिकल बैकग्राउंड ऑफ LIS स्टूडेंट्स, तो लाइब्रेरी साइंस एक ऐसा सब्जेक्ट है जो कोई भी ग्रेजुएट आके पढ़ सकता है, तो नॉन मैथमेटिकल बैकग्राउंड एक इशू है स्टैटिस्टिक्स को समझने में, अप्लाई करने में, क्योंकि अगर +2 लेवल तक या BSc लेवल तक, ग्रेजुएशन लेवल तक मैथमेटिकल बैकग्राउंड होता है तो स्टैटिस्टिक्स को समझना, इस्तेमाल करना काफ़ी आसान हो जाता है। नेक्स्ट लिमिटेशन इज लैक ऑफ LIS स्पेसिफिक स्टडी मटेरियल ट्यूटोरियल इन स्टैटिस्टिक्स। आप YouTube खोलोगे, कोई भी इंटरनेट में स्टैटिस्टिकल टेस्ट के बारे में आप सर्च करोगे तो बहुत सारे लाखों मटेरियल्स आएंगे, वीडियो हो या पेपर्स हो या कुछ और भी वेबसाइट्स वगैरह हो, जहाँ पे कि LIS लाइब्रेरी साइंस स्पेसिफिक मटेरियल जो काफ़ी कम या ऑलमोस्ट नील है, काफ़ी कम है, जिससे कि हमारे स्कॉलर्स को काफ़ी असुविधा होती है इसके बारे में ज़्यादा जानकारी कलेक्ट करने के लिए। और एक लिमिटेशन है डेटा सेट्स। जो भी स्टैटिस्टिकल टेस्ट वगैरह होता है उनके लिए कुछ रेडीमेड डेटा सेट्स होते हैं जिसका इस्तेमाल करके काफ़ी एनालिसिस वगैरह सीखा जा सकता है। तो वो हमारे लाइब्रेरी इंफॉर्मेशन साइंस फील्ड में रेडीली अवेलेबल नहीं है। ये एक बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा है। देन ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स एड्रेस टू फेल द इश्यू फेस बाय LIS स्कॉलर। मैंने काफ़ी सारा रिसर्च मैथोलॉजी के वर्कशॉप्स देखे या अटेंड भी किया है मैंने। स्टैटिस्टिक्स के लिए SPSS वगैरह सिखाने के लिए एक्सपर्ट्स को बुलाए जाते हैं जो कि अलग स्टैटिस्टिक्स से होते हैं या दूसरे सब्जेक्ट से होते हैं, जिनको LIS सब्जेक्ट के बारे में काफ़ी कम मतलब जानकारी कम होती है, या वो जो हमारे स्कॉलर जो जैसे चाहते हैं वो नहीं हो पाता है, ट्रेनिंग उस तरह से नहीं हो पाता है, क्योंकि दूसरे सब्जेक्ट के डेटा के साथ लाइब्रेरी इंफॉर्मेशन साइंस डेटा को रिलेट कर पा रहा, फिर वो दूसरा सब्जेक्ट का देख के हमारे यहाँ पे उसका इस्तेमाल करना कभी कभी मुश्किल हो सकता है। स्टैटिस्टिकल एक्सपर्ट्स हैव लेस नॉलेज अबाउट LIS फील्ड। हमारा सब्जेक्ट में क्या क्या होता है नहीं होता, वो स्टैटिस्टिक्स को लोगों को जानकारी नहीं होता। ये गैप है जो हम मिल के मतलब इसको फुलफिल कर सकते हैं डेफिनेटली, बट इसके लिए काफ़ी एक्सपीरियंस चाहिए। शुरुआती स्कॉलर जो हैं उनको ये एक्सपीरियंस नहीं होता, जिसकी वजह से उनके रिसर्च में क्या है वो ठीक तरह से बता भी नहीं पाते, एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर पाते, जिससे कि स्टैटिस्टिकल एक्सपर्ट उसको समझ सके और कुछ रिकमेंडेशन दे सके। तो एक मुद्दा है जो कि एक्सपीरियंस से ही हल हो सकता है। देन वेरी लेस यूज ऑफ इन्फरेंशियल स्टैटिस्टिक्स इन एनालिसिस। ये मैंने पहले भी बोल चुका हूँ कि इन्फरेंशियल स्टैटिस्टिक्स जो टेस्ट वगैरह होते हैं हमारे एनालिसिस फील्ड में काफी कम होते हैं। सर, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
सो ये सारे लिमिटेशंस है जो मैंने अपने एक्सपीरियंस के देखा है। मैंने स्टैटिस्टिक्स में कराता हूँ, जो सिन्हा साहब का पेपर है रिसर्च मैथोलॉजी, उसमें सिन्हा साहब ने मुझे स्टैटिस्टिक्स पढ़ाने के लिए दे रखा है। काफ़ी 8-10 साल से मैं पढ़ा रहा हूँ। देखा हूँ कि इसमें हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को काफ़ी प्रॉब्लम होती है स्टैटिस्टिक्स प्रॉब्लम वगैरह सॉल्व करने में। तो ये एक इशू है क्योंकि इसके लिए हमें और एफर्ट डालना पड़ेगा और भी ज़्यादा एफर्ट डालना पड़ेगा। नाउ कब और कैसे किससे हेल्प लें? एक मैं ऑलरेडी बता चुका हूँ कि ये एक बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा है कि हम कभी कभी क्या होता है, हम अपने तरीके से क्वेश्चनर वगैरह डिज़ाइन कर लेते हैं जहाँ पे सब कुछ ठीक नहीं होता है, फिर हम डाटा कलेक्ट कर लेते हैं, फिर स्टेटिस्टिकल एक्सपर्ट या स्टेटिस्टिशियन के पास जाते हैं कि हमारा डाटा एनालिसिस कर दीजिए, हमारा रिजल्ट निकल दीजिए। तो ये एक बहुत बड़ा ड्रॉबैक है, ताकि आपका अगर डेटा कलेक्शन सही नहीं है, डेटा स्केलिंग टेक्निक सही नहीं है, सब कुछ सही नहीं है, तो डेटा जो एनालिसिस होगा वो सही नहीं होगा, उससे जो कंक्लूजन निकलेगा वो सही नहीं होगा। तो जो शुरुआती स्कॉलर्स है जिनको काफ़ी एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है, मैं उनसे वही कहना चाहूँगा कि आप स्टेटिस्टिकल एक्सपर्ट से कंसल्ट करें। बहुत सारे है एक्सपर्ट जो यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में होते हैं डिपार्टमेंट, वो लोग भी। इवन मैं स्टेटिस्टिक्स बैकग्राउंड से होते हुए भी मैंने भी कंसल्ट किया था कि किस तरह का टेस्ट वगैरह सही हो, कौन सा चीज़ सही है कौन सा सही नहीं। तो थोड़ा कंसल्ट करने से वो मेरे हिसाब से काफ़ी अच्छा रहेगा। जैसे आप यहाँ पे कंसल्ट कर सकते हो आफ्टर आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम। जब आप रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम को आइडेंटिफाई कर लेते हो, आपको ये टॉपिक पे रिसर्च करना है, इस एरिया पे रिसर्च करना है, आपने काफ़ी लिटरेचर सर्वे वगैरह कर लिया, काफ़ी आपको आइडिया हो गया, तब आप एक प्लान कर सकते हो कि मैं किस तरह से रिसर्च करूँगा। उसमें आप स्टेटिस्टिशियन के हेल्प ले सकते हैं कि सिलेक्शन ऑफ सैंपल, वेरिएबल्स को डिफाइन करना, हाइपोथेसिस फ्रेम करना, क्वेश्चनियर डिजाइन, मेजरमेंट स्केल, टेस्ट टू बी परफॉर्म, प्री टेस्ट एंड पायलट स्टडी, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा। तो इन सब चीज़ों के लिए हम एक्सपर्ट्स का हेल्प ले सकते हैं। इसमें कोई शर्माने या हिचकाने की बात नहीं है, हिचक की कोई बात नहीं है। तो और धीरे धीरे हम सीख भी जाएंगे, जैसे जैसे हमारे रिसर्च प्रोग्रेस होगा, जैसे जैसे हम स्टडी करेंगे, काफ़ी धीरे धीरे हम सीख भी जाएंगे। तो देन यूज ऑफ इन्फरेंशियल स्टैटिस्टिक्स, अगर आप स्टैटिस्टिकल टेस्ट वगैरह, आपका अगर पॉपुलेशन बड़ा है, सैंपल आप अच्छा से रैंडम सैंपल जो सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं, अगर आपको कुछ टेस्ट वगैरह करना है तो इसके लिए प्रॉपर प्लानिंग शुरुआत से ही आपको सही तरीका सही होना पड़ेगा। तो इसलिए प्रॉपर प्लानिंग फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग चाहिए आपको। देन डिजाइन योर डाटा कलेक्शन टूल टू फुलफिल द रिसर्च ऑब्जेक्टिव्स। आप क्वेश्चन वगैरह, क्वेश्चनियर्स वगैरह, जो भी डाटा कलेक्शन टूल्स होता है उसको आप रिसर्च ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को ध्यान में रखते ही डिजाइन करना है कि वो रिसर्च ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को फुलफिल कर रहे हैं कि नहीं। देन रिमेन इन टच विद द स्टैटिस्टिशियन टू क्लियर योर डाउट्स, आप एक टच में रहें। आजकल स्टैटिस्टिकल सर्विस बहुत लोग देते हैं, कुछ पैसा लेते हैं, कुछ फ्री भी देते हैं, तो इसमें कोई है नहीं। देन और एक पॉइंट मैं यहाँ पे बताना चाहूँगा कि स्टैटिस्टिक्स इज ऑल्सो ए साइंस ऑफ मैनिपुलेशन। ये आप डेटा अगर आप मशीन में फीड करोगे, आप एक्सेल में डालिए, आप एसपीएसएस में डालिए, कोई भी सॉफ्टवेयर में डालिए, अगर आप टेस्ट सिलेक्ट करोगे डेटा डालने के बाद, वो कुछ ना कुछ रिजल्ट जरूर देगा, जरूर रिजल्ट देगा आपको। वो मना नहीं करेगा कि आपका डेटा सही नहीं है, आपका डेटा गलत है, ऐसा जनरली ऐसा नहीं होता है। वो रिजल्ट कुछ ना आता है, लेकिन वो रिजल्ट सही है या नहीं है वो डिसाइड, वो सबसे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है। सॉफ्टवेयर वगैरह हम सीख लेते हैं, लेकिन सॉफ्टवेयर के थ्रू जो डेटा आता है एनालिसिस करने के बाद, वो सही है या नहीं है, वो हमें, उसके लिए भी हमें थोड़ी जानकारी कलेक्ट करना पड़ेगा। सो ये बहुत ही छोटा सा प्रेजेंटेशन था। मैं सर कुछ सवाल वगैरह अगर हो तो मैं
अभी हम थैंक यू डॉक्टर नवीन चंद्र दे जी फॉर इन ए सिंपल लैंग्वेज you have nicely presented how the library science scholar students they can apply statistics in their study, and it is a very basic and concept you have informed the participant. Now I will request Dr. Pramod Kumar Singh, if he is available, he can go for question answer session. Sir, there are some question in chat box you can see, or you may invite a participant. If they have any question, they can raise their hand, and sir, you please coordinate. Over to Dr. Pramod Kumar Singh, please.
Thank you, sir. यदि कोई क्वेश्चन और पार्टिसिपेंट को तो क्या हमारे जो भी स्पीकर हैं अवेलेबल उनसे कर सकते हैं या नहीं? यानी क्वेश्चन है क्या में नहीं? हेलो
सर, चैट बॉक्स में देखिए, कुछ क्वेश्चन होगा।
हाँ सर, हाँ सर।
One question I can see, sir. Mahendra Kumar Rawat has asked, the hypothesis is equal to previous contradiction, or to use new way or any visualization technical way. Not clear. So participant may unmute and ask.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, yes. Hello. Good afternoon.
Sir, actually, I can use in a bilingual language.
Yes, yes, yes.
ओके सर, ये मैं बताऊँ हाइपोथेसिस के बारे में, जैसे बोलते हैं कि हाइपोथेसिस लोग प्रीवियस बेस पे लेके बनाते हैं, यस या नो करके उसको हाइपोथेसिस सॉल्यूशन कर लेते हैं। लेकिन हमें कोई ऐसा विजुअलाइजेशन यूज कर सकते हैं, या हम उसमें कोई डायग्राम या एक विजुअलाइजेशन या कोई डायग्राम इस तरह से, जैसे कि फ्लो चार्ट या इस तरह से मेंशन कर सकते हैं कि वो हमारा वैलिड माना जाए हाइपोथेसिस के, और प्रीवियस को और छोड़ के अपना न्यू रखा जाए तो वो वैलिड होगा?
देखिए, स्टैटिस्टिक्स सब्जेक्ट कोई विजुअलाइजेशन टेक्निक्स के बारे में तो मुझे पता नहीं है, लेकिन हाँ कुछ नया टेक्निक आया होगा जिसकी आप बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन स्टैटिस्टिक्स के हिसाब से अगर स्टैटिस्टिक्स मतलब हाइपोथेसिस के बारे में बोला जाए तो हाइपोथेसिस जो होता है एक अनबायस्ड एजम्पशन होता है। अनबायस्ड मतलब कोई भी उसमें बायसनेस नहीं होता है। एक आप जो भी आपका रिसर्च वेरिएबल्स है, आप जो भी वेरिएबल्स सिलेक्ट करते हैं, इंडिपेंडेंट डिपेंडेंट, उनके अंदर क्या रिलेशंस है नहीं है, उसके ऊपर में एक आप हाइपोथेसिस एज्यूम करते हैं जो कि अनबायस्ड होता है। फिर उस हाइपोथेसिस को टेस्ट करने के लिए हमें डाटा कलेक्शन करना होता है। हम डेटा कलेक्ट करते हैं, फिर टेस्ट करते हैं, तो डेटा बताता है कि वो हाइपोथेसिस को रिजेक्ट करना है या एक्सेप्ट करना है। Okay.
Yes,
So,
one thing again is
different.
to addition to mate sir, this question.
Yes.
Hypothesis में plagiarism को वैरी करता है कि नहीं? Plagiarism उसको डिक्टेट करता है कि नहीं? अगर हम अपनी तरफ से व्यू लिखे या मैच करता हो या ना हो, assumption है ना, इसलिए कर रहे हैं।
प्लेगरिज्म हाइपोथेसिस के मतलब हाइपोथेसिस को आप प्लेगरिज्म से रिलेट करना चाहते हैं,
जी जी
am I correct?
जी यस सर।
देखिए हाइपोथेसिस तो कोई भी इसमें प्लेगरिज्म मुझे नहीं लगता कोई प्लेगरिज्म का बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा होगा, क्योंकि आप अपने रिसर्च के लिए एक हाइपोथेसिस सिलेक्ट कर रहे हैं। तो जरूर ऐसा तो नहीं होगा कि आपको इससे नया हाइपोथेसिस लेके आ जाए पूरा जो पहले किसी ने नहीं किया होगा, क्योंकि किसी ने ऑलरेडी अगर वो हाइपोथेसिस लेके कहीं दूसरी जगह स्टडी कर चुका है, अगर आप दूसरी जगह पे आप कहीं दूसरी जगह पे स्टडी कर रहे हो दूसरे कंटेक्स्ट में दूसरे टाइम पे, तो वो उसमें मुझे नहीं लगता प्लेगरिज्म का कोई बड़ा मुद्दा होना चाहिए। हाइपोथेसिस जो होता है एक अनबायस्ड स्टेटमेंट होता है जो रिसर्च डिपेंडेंट होता है, वेरिएबल्स डिपेंडेंट होते हैं, तो उसमें मुझे नहीं लगता प्लेगरिज्म का कोई बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा होना चाहिए कि
सर
आपने ये हाइपोथेसिस अगर यूज कर लिया आप यूज कर सकते हैं।
हाँ सर, आपने बोला ना सर, एक बार अभी बीच में बोला था कि आपने आजकल लोग पब्लिकेशन करते हैं स्टैटिकल पैसे लेके कर लेते हैं, कुछ ऐसे कर लेते हैं जिसे कुछ लोग को इन्होंने बिजनेस बना रखा है कि कोई भी कहीं का भी निकाल के उससे पैसे लेकर आप उसे पे करके आप अपना ओरिजिनल वर्क दिखा सकते हैं। तो ये हमारा सेंसरशिप या किसी के अंदर आता है, या हम उनको वैलिड माने, या हमारा रिसोर्स में इसमें काम के लिए सही रहेगा कि नहीं?
देखिए मैं अभी बहुत सारा कुछ चीजें बताना चाहता था यहाँ पे कि आजकल क्या हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा है वो सभी को मोरलेस पता होता है, मार्केट में क्या हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा है, तो ये मन सही नहीं होगा ये सब चीजें डिस्कस करने के लिए यहाँ पे। लेकिन मैं इसीलिए बताना चाहता था कि आप उसी से मदद ले जिनको आप भरोसा कर सकते हैं। तो स्टैटिस्टिक्स के प्रोफेसर हैं कहीं यूनिवर्सिटी में, ऐसे आपको बाजार में बहुत सारे लोग मिल जाएंगे जो अपने आप को बताएंगे स्टैटिस्टिकल एक्सपर्ट। जैसे आप यूट्यूब ढूंढेंगे, वेबसाइट ढूंढेंगे, तो बहुत सारे स्टैटिस्टिकल एक्सपर्ट्स मिल जाएंगे जो इस तरह के काम कर रहे हैं।
हाँ, वो मैंने देख लिया था। जी जी सर जी।
लेकिन
मेरा कहना ये है कि
को ही चेक करना होगा।
हाँ,
एक्सक्यूज मी, वैलिडिटी तो रिसर्चर को ही चेक करना होगा।
ऑफ कोर्स देखिए एक बार
हाँ जी सर, हाँ सर, हाँ सर, हाँ सर,
रावत, चाहे
हाँ
बाजार
सर,
से आप कहीं भी कुछ भी खरीदो उसकी वैलिडिटी तो आपको ही चेक करनी है ना।
आपके ऊपर ही है।
प्लेगरिज्म का तो कोई मसला नहीं है।
देखिए अगर आप
हाँ,
स्टैटिस्टिशियंस का हेल्प लेते हैं, जैसे आपने कुछ पैसा दिया, डाटा दे दिया, कलेक्ट करके लेके आ गए, वो करके दे दिया, सही गलत आप समझो, तो उस चक्कर में नहीं पड़ना है। मैं मानता हूं कि आप कोई एक प्रोफेसर्स हो, टीचर्स हो, जो भी मतलब रिलायबल है आपका स्टैटिस्टिक्स, उनसे आप कंसल्ट करें, उनसे समझे, कॉन्सेप्ट्स को समझे कि आप जो भी डाटा कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं क्या हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा, उसके साथ क्या होगा नहीं होगा, आप जवाब कैसे देंगे। क्योंकि जब भी आपको भाइवा के लिए बुलाया जाएगा मतलब प्रेजेंटेशन के लिए आपका रिसर्च के ऊपर, तो वहां पे स्टैटिस्टिकल एक्सपर्ट नहीं होगा, जवाब आपको देना होगा। तो आप जो भी एनालिसिस कर रहे हैं, जो भी टेक्निक्स अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, उसके बारे में जाने, उसके बारे में समझे, उसके बारे में पढ़े, स्टडी करें और स्टैटिस्टिशियंस का हेल्प ले, ताकि आपको एक गाइडेंस रहे। हाँ, अभी अगर आप YouTube में, इंटरनेट में कहीं पे भी कुछ स्टैटिस्टिकल टेस्ट के बारे में कुछ सर्च करते हैं कीवर्ड से, तो आपको बहुत सारे मटेरियल्स मिल जाएंगे। वो बता देगा कि कुछ डेटा सेट्स लेके बता देगा एफ टेस्ट कैसे करना है, टी टेस्ट कैसे करना है, काई स्क्वायर टेस्ट करना है, कैसे करना है। तो इसीलिए मैंने जो लिमिटेशंस यहाँ पे रखा था कि हमारे स्कॉलर्स को क्या इश्यूज होता है, क्या प्रॉब्लम होता है, कहाँ पे दिक्कत है, तो इसलिए मैंने अपने तरीके से कुछ जैसे बताया कि आप एक बार में आप स्टैटिस्टिक्स के बारे में सब्जेक्ट्स में एक्सपर्ट नहीं बन सकते, कि उस काफी अलग सब्जेक्ट है। उसके लिए प्रैक्टिस चाहिए, एक्सपीरियंस चाहिए, नया जो स्कॉलर है वो काफी इसमें परेशानी होती है। तो इसलिए मैंने बताया कि शुरुआत से ही आप जब एक आपका प्रॉब्लम आइडेंटिफाई हो जाए रिसर्च, आप एक स्टैटिस्टिशियन, स्टैटिस्टिकल एक्सपर्ट से संपर्क करें, उनसे कॉन्सेप्ट्स को समझे, थोड़ा थोड़ा इसके स्टैटिस्टिक्स के बारे में रिसर्च करें थोड़ा कि, और लिटरेचर
Yes.
रिव्यू अगर स्टडी करते हैं आप तो उससे आपको काफी सारा आइडिया मिल जाएगा कि बाकी लोगों ने किस तरह का टेस्ट वगैरह किया है। और एक बात है कि हर एक जो रिसर्च वर्क होता है, बेसिकली जो पीएचडी काफी बड़ा वर्क होता है, काफी इंडिपेंडेंट होता है, इंडिविजुअल होता है। कोई एक प्रोसीजर सिमिलर ही आप उसकी किसी ने एक प्रोसीजर से कर लिया, आपको ही करना है, कोई जरूरी नहीं है। तो इसलिए मैं समझता हूँ कि एक कंसल्टेशन जरूरी है।
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Naveen sir. Pramod sir, you can please request them if they have any question.
Good morning, sir. May I
Naveen ji, please on your camera.
Yes, somebody is asking.
Okay, sir.
Asking. Unmute करके बोलिए मैडम आप।
Yes, sir. I am audible, sir.
थोड़ा आवाज स्लो आ रहा है आपका, but no problem. We can manage.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
sir.
Madhuri Kumari.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the great presentation, sir. It was very enlightening for us. Sir, my question is that whenever we do the literature review related to the statistical analysis, where the researchers do the statistical analysis, we don't have the raw data. So we can't confine that what the result is the result is right or wrong. So how to confirm that the result is written by the researcher in that particular article is right, or how we can check that the process by doing ourselves that the research is result is related to that particular data. So how do access that raw data to confirmation of that result of that statistical analysis?
थैंक यू माधुरी जी, आपने काफी कठिन सवाल पूछा है कि किस तरह से आप जो डेटा है, जो रिसर्च फाइंडिंग्स है, वो जो रिसर्च पेपर है या जो आर्टिकल्स वगैरह है उसमें रॉ डेटा नहीं होता है। और इसमें अगर आप चाहे बोलेंगे कि रॉ डेटा आपको कहाँ से मिले, तो वो रिसर्चर ही आ सकता है।
वॉइस गया नवीन जी?
No voice.
के कारण लगता है कि वीडियो ऑन करने से हम लोग भी ऑफ कर रहे हैं वीडियो।
नहीं, हम लोगों से कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है सर, हम लोगों से कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है।
हाँ, तो इसमें अगर आप कोई रेप्यूटेड जर्नल में अगर रिजल्ट्स पब्लिश हुआ है, तो पहली बात ये, अगर आप जैसे मैंने ऑलरेडी कहा है कि जो डेटा सेट्स है एलाइस फील्ड में रेडिली अवेलेबल नहीं है। कॉमर्स में चले जाओ, इकोनॉमिक्स में चले जाइए आप, उसमें आपको रेडीमेड डेटा सेट्स मिल जाएगा, किसके थ्रू आप टेस्ट वगैरह कर सकते हो, आप आराम से सीख सकते हो। लेकिन लाइब्रेरी साइंस फील्ड में डेटा ऐसे ही कम है। जैसे कि मैंने बोला कि इन्फरेंशियल जो स्टैटिस्टिकल टेस्ट वगैरह होता है, जो टेस्ट वगैरह करते हैं हम, वो काफी क्या है लास्ट 30-40 इयर्स में मैं देखा हूं कि ये बड़े बड़े जर्नल्स का भी उन्होंने एनालिसिस किया हुआ है कि जो इन्फरेंशियल स्टैटिस्टिक्स जो होता है वो, तो इसीलिए जो डेटा सेट्स अगर आप बोल रहे हैं कि सर किस तरह से रॉ डेटा मंगवाए, तो वो तो आपको जो स्कॉलर है जो वही
Sir, you are not audible.
अमर जी वीडियो ऑफ कर लीजिए, सभी लोग वीडियो ऑफ कर लीजिए।
तो डेटा मिल सके आपको, मेरे ख्याल से ये काफी है।
एक्चुअली प्रॉब्लम कहाँ आती है कि जब हम लिटरेचर पढ़ने लगते हैं तो फिर उन्होंने लिखा रहता है कि हमने ये एनालिसिस किया और ये रिजल्ट आया, फिर ये वेरिएंस आया, ये कोरिलेशन आया, तो हम उसको कंफर्म करना चाहते हैं कि अपने तरीके से करके देखना चाहते हैं कि एग्जैक्टली ये चीज आ रहा है या नहीं आ रहा, हम इसको अपने रिसर्च में कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं। अगर हम यही
पहली बात तो है कि आप जो पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, लिटरेचर सर्वे कर रहे हैं, वो अपने रिसर्च के लिए कर रहे हैं,
जी
सर।
जी
आप अपने रिसर्च के लिए आइडिया गैदर कर, लिटरेचर रिव्यू करना क्या होता है कि हम दूसरे का पढ़ के अपने लिए आइडियाज कलेक्ट करते हैं, नहीं? तो आपको क्यों उनका रिसर्च आपको वेरीफाई क्यों करना है, पहली बात।
नहीं वेरीफाई नहीं करना सर, आई वांट टू लर्न फ्रॉम दैट, मुझे
लर्न
सीखना है।
एग्जैक्टली लर्निंग के लिए आपको मैं वही इसीलिए बोल रहा हूँ कि जो डेटा सेट से वो रेडिली अवेलेबल नहीं है।
ओके
हाँ, ये तो आप पायलट स्टडी कीजिए, पायलट स्टडी करके कुछ डेटा कलेक्ट कीजिए आपका हिसाब से, फिर उसको एनालिसिस कीजिए।
ओके सर।
हाँ,
सर जैसे हम
और
लोग
बाकी
मैथ्स के क्वेश्चंस बनाते हैं ना, तो पीछे आंसर रहता है, तो हम लोग उसको बना के फिर हम लोग ना उससे मैच करते हैं कि हमारा हम सही प्रोसेस कर
आंसर
रहे
सही
हैं।
है कि नहीं, सही है कि नहीं। देखिए इसीलिए मैं बोला हूँ कि हमारे पास आप कहाँ से हैं माधुरी जी?
सर मैं बिहार की हुई हूँ, लेकिन मैं रहती हूँ गुजरात में। मैं रिसर्च स्कॉलर।
आप इस रिसर्च स्कॉलर है कि नहीं?
हाँ
तो
सर,
आपका
सेंटर।
बैकग्राउंड क्या है, आपका बैकग्राउंड क्या है
सर
डिग्री में?
सर मैंने बीएससी करी है जूलॉजी से, लेकिन अप टू 12th आई हैव रेड द मैथ्स, मैंने मैथ्स पढ़ा।
मैथमेटिक्स, यस यस यस। तो देखिए इसीलिए मैं अपने एक्सपीरियंस से इसीलिए मैं बताऊं कि आप एक स्टैटिस्टिकल एक्सपर्ट के संपर्क में आए, कंसल्ट करें। हाँ, अगर कुछ पैसा देना होता है दीजिए, लेकिन इससे क्या होगा कि आप कुछ सीख जाएंगे और आपका रिसर्च क्वालिटी अच्छा हो।
यस सर।
सारे चीजों के लिए देखिए मैं कुछ जो लिमिटेशंस है कि हमारे यहाँ पे स्टैटिस्टिकल पेपर नहीं होता है सेपरेट से, फिर हमारे पास ज्यादातर स्टूडेंट्स के पास मैथमेटिक्स बैकग्राउंड नहीं होता है। आपके पास है तो आप समझ लेते हैं, हाँ थोड़ा बहुत कोशिश करना सब समझ लेंगे, लेकिन सबके पास नहीं है। तो इसीलिए बोलता हूँ कि आप जैसे ज्यादातर यूनिवर्सिटी से स्टैटिस्टिक्स डिपार्टमेंट होते हैं, हमारे यहाँ पे भी है, मैं भी यहाँ पे अपना इसके लिए मैंने भी कंसल्ट किया था, इन्होंने मुझे गाइड किया, थोरो गाइड किया मुझे, एकदम शुरुआत से मुझे गाइड किया ताकि एक अच्छा वर्क निकल सके अल्टीमेटली। तो इसमें मुझे नहीं लगता, मतलब अगर आपको कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है, आपको शुरुआत में सभी स्कॉलर्स को ये प्रॉब्लम होता है, इसीलिए मैं ऑलरेडी बता चुका हूँ कि आप एक स्टैटिस्टिकल एक्सपर्ट से कंसल्ट कीजिए जो कि भरोसेमंद भी हो। और एक बात मैं बताना चाहूंगा कि यू आर द मास्टर ऑफ योर ओन रिसर्च।
यस सर।
आप जो भी रिसर्च कर रहे हैं उसका मास्टर आप खुद है। कि आप अपना रिसर्च में जितना टाइम आप लगाएंगे, जितना एफर्ट्स आप लगाएंगे, कोई नहीं लगाएगा, आपका गाइड भी नहीं लगाएगा, स्टैटिस्टिकल एक्सपर्ट भी नहीं लगाएगा। इसलिए कुछ प्रायर जानकारी आपको ऑलरेडी होनी चाहिए, जो कि आपको मिलेगा लिटरेचर रिव्यू के थ्रू। आप कुछ लिटरेचर रिव्यू करते हैं, उस तरह का स्टडीज देख रहे हैं, आप कुछ जानकारी आपको मिल चुका है, तो वो आप नोट करके रखिए। जब भी आप स्टैटिस्टिकल एक्सपर्ट के साथ मिलेंगे, जब आपका अपना रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम डिफाइन करेंगे, आप वेरिएबल्स आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे, हाइपोथेसिस डिजाइन करेंगे, तब उसमें काफी आपको स्टैटिस्टिकल एक्सपर्ट जो काफी मदद कर पाएंगे आपको। अदरवाइज उनको भी आपके फील्ड के, आपके सब्जेक्ट के बारे में जानकारी नहीं है, अगर आप कुछ भी जानकारी लेके नहीं जाएंगे तो फिर प्रॉब्लम।
यस सर। ओके, थैंक यू सो मच सर।
वेलकम।
कोई और क्वेश्चन है? प्रमोद जी।
हेलो। ओके सर।
अगर क्वेश्चन नहीं है तो आप फॉर्मल वोट ऑफ थैंक्स ऑफर कीजिए सर।
हेलो
सिन्हा
सर।
सर, आपने कहा
लाल सर आप कुछ बोलिए।
हेलो।
हाँ
तो
ओके सर।
गुड आफ्टरनून।
फ्रॉम राजन, ये बादल कुमार ठाकुर, significance of CC license in the term of open access. I think this question is related to Dr. Rajesh Kumar ji. Rajesh Kumar ji हैं CC license significance in the term of open access. The question asked from by the Badal Kumar Thakur. राजेश जी,
आप अनम्यूट करके क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं। बादल, आप अनम्यूट कर लीजिए अपने आप को और क्वेश्चन पूछिए, आपका रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन।
this question is available in the chat box.
ओके ओके। मनोहर जी, प्लीज रिपीट द क्वेश्चन।
Question is significance of CC, Creative Commons license, in the term of open access.
ओके, सो राजेश जी, क्वेश्चन जो है इनका, आप समझ पा रहे हैं क्वेश्चन? सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ सीसी लाइसेंस इन टर्म ऑफ ओपन एक्सेस। ओपन एक्सेस के टर्म में सीसी लाइसेंस का क्या सिग्निफिकेंस है? यही क्वेश्चन है ना?
यस यस, क्रिएटिव कॉमन लाइसेंस।
क्रिएटिव कॉमन लाइसेंस।
I think he is not available. I will share one photograph. You can see.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
This is Creative Commons license. So in this site, you can go through and you will find detail. It is actually a license. It is a not-for-profit organization. A Creative Commons license, CC, license or public license. Public license. You can use them to indicate what other people are allowed to do with your work. Each work is automatically protected by copyright, which means that other will need to ask permission from you as the copyright owner. If you write any paper, automatically copyright goes to you. You are the copyright holder. So anybody want to use your work, then they need copyright license from you, clearance from your side. If you give, okay, you can use my paper for your classroom work, classroom teaching, academic work, then they can work. So under CC license, CC license let you easily change your copyright terms from the default of all right reserved to some right reserved. So when you see in a book, it is written that copyright, name of publisher, all rights are reserved. In film or any media, you see all rights are reserved. It is written. Means copyright holders hold all the right. You cannot make any changes or make anything unless you pay something to them cost. Then you can use. So under this CC license, there is a provision. You can change from all right reserved to some rights reserved. Means some rights will be given to you to use these resources. They are legal tools to give permission in advance to share and use your work on condition of your choice. So there are 6 different Creative Commons license category, that is CC by SA, CC by NC, CC by ND, CC by NC SA, CC by NC ND. The later pairs indicate condition for the use. So here one picture you can see all it is clearly. Here you can see copy and publish, attribution required, commercial use, modify and adapt, change license. So what facilities are there? All symbols are given here. Public domain. This symbol, public domain, if it is available, then CC by. So under this provision, you can see tick mark here is given. That is orange tick mark. You can say you can redistribute, copy, publish, display, communicate, etc. So all you can see this color. This is applicable here. So copy and publish under this color you can see. You have right. You can redistribute, copy, publish, display, communicate. And under this color you can find you have to attribute the original work. So here public domain it is not available, but for other condition it is available. So you have to attribute the original work. Then in red color commercial use, you can see you can use the work commercially. If you pay, then you can use. These are available here under this condition, and these are not available. And green color, you can modify and adapt the original work. So under this condition, these are available. You can modify and adapt the original work, and NC by ND it is not available, CC by NC and D it is not available. So in this way, if you go through this chart, then everything will be clear to you. You can note down the this website address, and in your leisure time you can go through detail. That will be very interesting, and you can learn more. So expert is not available right now, so just I have shown you the real place from where you can learn. Thank you so much. And DD sir, you can throw light because you are dealing with Delcon consortium. You are very much aware of copyright issues and all. You can throw light on that.
No, sir, you have already explained that CC copyright everything. So it is already there. So there are lots many licensing with the publisher what we are signing, and we are going through that. So many of the publishers, if I go for that prospectus of publishers, so they have that different kind of licensing, you know. So many of the publishers, they make all the licensing in their favor. But while signing the license agreement, we have to go through all the details, what is beneficial for us, what is not beneficial for us. So that is the, you know, for that publisher and commercial publishers, they are very particular about that their license agreements, you know. So whatever content they are providing, so these all are that, you know, they put every clause under that copyright, you know, and licensing. So while signing the license, we should must be careful. Basically, the librarians, because authority, they don't have that legal, they don't have legal person. So who will see that agreement? So for our consortium, as per the Delcon consortium, I only review and my staff review all the license agreements of the publishers. We read all the paragraph, we read all the sentence, whether this is in our favor or their favor. So mutual, with the mutual understanding, mutual agreement, we go for that signing of the license agreement. This is my submission, sir. And many of things you already cleared through that website, what you shared. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir. Pramod sir, now you can offer a formal vote of thanks.
Excuse me, sir.
Anybody from participant side, they want to say something before we offer formal vote of thanks? Any participant, if you want to say something, you can come forward. Dr. Imran Khan, Dr. Mithlesh Kumar, if you want to say something, or Dr. Amit Uron, are you there, Amit? Dr. Mahesh Singh, if you want to say something, Dr. Sanjay. So you can unmute and you can tell, otherwise we will move to formal vote of thanks.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
Yeah, Akhtar Hussain ji, boliye. Yes.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. Sir, एक मेरा क्वेश्चन है. What is different between free information resources and open access? ये क्वेश्चन कोई भी जवाब दे दे इसका. ये तो क्वेश्चन रिलेटेड राजेश सर से था, लेकिन वो नहीं है, तो आप में से कोई इसका आंसर दे.
Hello, sir, can you reply?
Free resources, just I'm trying to give my inputs. So free resources means it is available to anybody. Suppose that the government website is there. Okay, you are going for download. Okay, so this is available for anybody. Anybody can download anything. Okay, so this is that free resources. And what I understand about that open access, so this is also that similar kind of free access. But you know, government has policy for the research work. Suppose that scientists and professors are doing research. So whatever research they are doing with the government money. Okay. So government has that kind of policy to, you know, whatever you do the research, basically you are doing for that public. Basically you are doing for that society. So these all should be available publicly, so they can go and they can check, they can access all the details, they can get access, they can get information. So this kind of open access policy is there, government policy. In our DBT also they have that open access policy. So whoever scientist and whoever is researchers publishing their paper or doing any research, that should be open access. That should be open for that all publics. So that is that open access policy. So this kind of, I feel that these are the differences for that free access and open access. Free access means suppose that you want to make that passport. So it is available on the website. Anybody can download. You want to go for that voter ID card. You just click download and go for that. So this is that freely available for any of the people. Okay. For open access means some researchers, they want to get access, so they go for that open access. As per my view. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Ashok Kumar ji, please.
हाँ सर, ये जैसे मुझे टूल्स वगैरह में तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, लेकिन उसके बाद उसको एनालिसिस करने के लिए क्या टेक्निक्स अपनानी है वो समझ में नहीं आता है। जैसे मैंने डाटा कलेक्ट कर लिया, मैं उसको एनोवा से करूं या रिग्रेशन से करूं, ये कैसे मतलब डिसाइड कर सकते हैं?
Dr. Naveen Chandra ji can reply.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a actually very tough question asked, because what test is recommended, that depends on the sample, what data he has collected, what type of data, on what scale. So I think Mr. Kumar, he can mail me regarding his, I may, based on his data and all this thing, I may recommend. I may have to study his data, and then only I can tell what tests are appropriate for him. By just at this platform, it is not possible, because what type of data he has collected, which tests are appropriate for him, that whether he has any hypothesis, whether he has what scaling techniques he have used, what sampling techniques he have used. Based on that only we can recommend some test.
Okay.
I think someone is asking my email ID. I am unable to send. Mr. Ashok Kumar, I think you have asked my email ID. My email ID is naveencde@gmail.com. I am unable to send message here. I don't know.
Achha, we will write, Naveen ji, we will write naveencde@gmail.com.
Yes, you can write down in the chat box, sir. I am unable to do it.
Yes. Please. Yes.
Yes, sir has given my email ID. You can.
Sir has already given. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then there are no question. We will move to next program, like offering formal vote of thanks. Now I will request Dr. Pramod Kumar Singh sir to please offer formal vote of thanks. Pramod Kumar sir,
Good
please.
afternoon, all of you. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, all of you. I, Dr. Pramod Kumar Singh, on behalf of Library Association of Bihar and entire GB members, and on my own behalf, extend a very heartful vote of thanks to all speakers for gracing your important speech and sharing with us your findings and opinions today. A big thanks to you to Professor Anup Barman, Department of Management, Assam University, Silchar, for his efforts towards research tools and techniques. Refer and respond to just one central idea of the speakers that you found particularly interesting. I must mention deep sense of appreciation for Dr. Rajesh Kumar, librarian, for his explanation of speech open source. Further, we are grateful to Naveen Chandra Dey for demonstrating his statistics for library and information science research. I am also very grateful to Professor M.K. Sinha sir, Dr. D.D. Lal, Dr. Abhishek Kumar, Munawar Iqbal, Kumar Gaurav and Pranita and others, all participants and dignitaries. Organizing such type of useful program, once again, I want to state that we are all most grateful to all speakers on this stage. We thank you for being with us this Raksha Bandhan's day to take out time from his her busy schedule to grace event. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pramod Kumar Singh, sir, for offering formal vote of thanks. Now there is a time for a photographic session. All are requested to please on your video so that we may have some group photograph.
Yes.
So please, if there is no network issue, you can on your
you can on your video. You can on your video. So we will take the photograph.
Other may also take from their mobile, because some sections in a screen, entire screen is not coming at one time.
Yes.
So, okay, thank you so much for group photograph. Now we will meet on 29th August 2021 at 10:30 a.m. We have that day we have 3-4 lectures, and it is a valedictory session. We have valedictory address by Professor Narendra Lakar sir from Guwahati University, and we have eminent speakers also. So we will issue the brochure within few days, and we request all of you to attend in large number. We have 700 plus registration, and we have also Webex. We have procured Webex software for accommodating 200 participants at it together, and also we have linked YouTube channel so that through that we can another person may attend there. So on valedictory function, I request all of you and your friend to participate in large number so that to make our program a grand success. Thank you so much for all for attending your session during this Raksha Bandhan festival, despite of your busy schedule. Thank you once again to all. So now I request all of you to please log out and enjoy your day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Naveen ji.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Happy Raksha Bandhan to all of you.
Sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
I also wish same to you.
आप टीका उका लगा के बैठे राखी की
देखिए भाई राखी है यार।
हम अभी तक बिजी रह गए, हम घर से फोन आ रहा है, हम अभी तक लगा नहीं पाए, अभी नहा धोवा के लगाते हैं।
ठीक है सर, ओके।
थैंक यू सर।
You can log out now. Yeah. Sir, we all log out and we meet on 29th.